Let's see if we can't find those mountain pines.
Hello there, chat. I usually have a topical video before this stream starts, but this time I just couldn't resist, and I had to put one of these Oblivion videos. I love these so much. Oblivion is such a source of unintended humor, like in every single instance. But hello, let me put some music up before we actually start with today's stuff. And there's a lot to go through today. Well, a lot in terms of the variety of it, but in terms of how much content actually there is, well, that's kind of debatable. But we'll actually see. So let me get some music up. Some lo-fi stuff, maybe. It's gonna be a good choice. Once again, joined by our dancing Yachtman, because today's stream, unfortunately, is gonna involve a little bit of Niji-sanji stuff here and there, because this company, these VTubers within that company, they're up to no good. Every single fucking time they're up to no good, and I'm kind of sick of them, to be honest with you. But you know, it's relevant, it's interesting enough, and it kind of highlights a few behavior patterns, especially of one of them that was revealed very recently. There's gonna be a lot of variety today, and all of it involves VTubers in some way, because VTubers are kind of overarching on everything nowadays. Like it's like a focal point for a lot of things when it comes to popular media, especially when it comes to social media. There's just like VTuber commenting on every single thing, like be it VTuber related stuff or be it like some political stuff. There's always some kind of VTuber or VTuber related thing tied to it, and it's a little bit of obnoxious, but we're all about that kind of stuff, and obnoxious and annoying stuff is kind of my forte here. I'm gonna see a lot of that today. But let me give you a quick rundown what we're gonna actually be tackling today, because again, variety, a spice of life. So I have a few things for you today. First of all, we're gonna be taking a look at the newest Niji-sanji thing, with them getting one guide on Twitter, and then after one of them got one guide, and by one of them I mean here Uki Violeta getting one guide and kind of pouncing back with a little bit of anti-white racism, because that's always scores you very good points on social media, especially as your agency is burning down within controversy. And there's also some other stuff related to it, especially when it comes to people's reactions to it. Victoria Brightshield is also one of these people that got one guide, which kind of, you know, makes me question what kind of PR advice these people actually get, because the last thing I would want to do on social media, especially after a huge controversy that cost the company hundreds of millions of dollars, the last thing I would want to do is go on Twitter and antagonize people even more. But you know, that's me. Maybe this was their own version of a PR stunt. Maybe by trying to dunk on the people that are dunking on them, they tried to recover a little bit of their lost reputation, because, you know, who doesn't love a very good takedown on social media? Who the hell knows? But, you know, the best advice when things around you are burning down is try to extinguish that fire with silence, instead of just, you know, taking a whole container of gasoline and just pouring it all over the fire so it burns much hotter and much brighter. But you know, that's just a little bit of advice here and there. I'm gonna take a look at what kind of reactions that whole Uki thing actually spawned, because there's a little bit of that too. Moving on, we have the awful VTuber manager that was revealed to be part of a few VTubers' careers over the last few years, and they had kind of enough of her at one point, and decided to make a few statements here and there. A few documents got released, a few Discord logs here and there as well. We're gonna be taking a look at those because if VTuber drama doesn't encompass all of it down to the VTuber managers as well, then it's simply not VTuber drama if it's not all encompassing. And again, it is what it is, but you just kind of get used to it after a while. Then we'll move on to the whole Vosh controversy. Why is Vosh related to VTubers, you may ask? In case you've been living in a cave for the last few weeks. Well, Vosh accidentally leaked a bit of lolicon porn on one of his streams, and that porn involved Natsuhiro Matsuri of Hololive's fame. And all of that spawned its own reaction, since Vosh is a huge leftoid celebrity. Let's call him that. He's a celebrity, as much as it hurts me to say it. He is, for whatever reason, respected by a lot of people, but there's also an equal or maybe even bigger amount of people that want to take him down a peg. And these people, in reaction to what he had on his hard drive in terms of pornographic material, decided to do a little bit of a commentary on him on various sites. I think even Keemstar with his drama alert did the coverage of this shit. Like every single drama monger, every single bottom feeder on social media decided to put their 5 cents here and comment on this. But of course, Vosh, being Vosh, he's only interesting as much as the controversy around him is interesting. So people quickly decided, instead of focusing on Vosh, they decided to focus on anime, because anime is the main culprit here. How dare anime make Vosh into a quote-unquote pedophile because he has a little bit of lolicon porn on his hard drive in a folder just next to his taxes for whatever reason. I don't know. It just kind of seems like his porn is equally as important as his taxes. I don't know what that says about Vosh, but it is what it is. And as we go through this particular topic, I'll explain to you what he actually had on his hard drive. I can't show it, of course, because YouTube is kind of gay like that, so I'm sorry. And it's pretty much the best platform to stream at the moment anyway. I'm considering getting a Twitch just for experimentation's sake, but that's just kind of up in the air at the moment. I'll tell you if I actually decide to go through with that. See if it's actually better in any sort of sense. I do know that you can get banned on Twitch for like anything, essentially, as long as people just properly report you for it. But whatever. But yeah, going back on topic. We're gonna take a look at the reaction to all of this, because people decided to go after anime, because of course that's the bigger problem here. It's not Vosh being a hypocrite. It's not Vosh throughout the years saying that these anime cartoon girls they are for pedophiles. If you watch that, if you enjoy that in any sort of gratifying sense, you're also pedophile, and lo and behold, Vosh got caught with the same thing, and even worse, you would say, because there was some bestiality there as well. Of course, cartoon bestiality. because if Vosh was actually caught with the real thing, this stream would be a lot more serious, and Vosh would pretty much be over at that point. But then again, these bread tubers, these leftoid celebrities, they have so much support, they would even excuse that. They excuse anything about the people they like. It's kind of disgusting, but you know, it is what it is. I can't do anything about that other than talk about it, that is. But we're gonna take a look at a few other Z grade or higher grade internet celebrities like pitching in on this whole controversy. We're gonna watch a rev video about this, like a proper streamer that does only React content, because why the fuck not? And we're gonna take a look at the people that, you know, might just have the same kind of skeletons in their closet as Bosch has, because, you know, when the lady protests too much, there might be a little bit more to it than it initially seems. Then we're gonna move on into our washed up lawyer saga, as I call it, as Popular calls himself lawyer nowadays, but I don't know. Anytime I tune into his stream, he looks emaciated. Kind of looks like he just came out of a concentration camp. Well, and of course, I'm talking here about Nick the Boozer Requiera, who who got asked very recently about why he's not covering the recent VTuber drama with Selen, because, you know, there's a lot of legalities involved in that, and there's the other YouTuber called Legal Mindset that has been having constant streams about this, sharing his opinions and knowledge about the legal side of this whole thing. And since, you know, Requiera was one of the go-to people, at least he was in the past when it came to legal matters and controversies that could be, you know, explained from a lawyer's point of view. Then of course people are going to be asking him, like, Nick, why are you drunk? why the fuck aren't you talking about this? So Nick here had a very lengthy reply, kind of feels that he's drunk during this during making of these statements. I'm gonna watch that, and we're gonna have a small recap, like how is Nick related to VTubers other than the fact that he knows a few here and there. But yeah, we're gonna be watching a man spiral down the bubble, and, you know, it might be a little bit amusing. After that, we have something that I decided to call the Idol Troubles, and by idol I mean a popular VTuber agency based in Israel. They got into 2 dramas recently, funnily enough, in the same week too, and both of them are so dramatically different that it was kind of surprising that a company like that would get into trouble. Not by their own doing, for the most part, you could argue, but you'll just have to wait and see. The first problem is gonna be the latest Yuko Yurei announcement and the subsequent lashing and ejecting unicorns from her fandom. They lost their mind a little bit on that in that aspect, and we're going to take a look at a few reactions to Yuko Yurei deciding not to do GFE, that's girlfriend experience kind of content anymore, because, you know, she felt that she needed to change direction to avoid further burnout. And you know, a lot of people didn't take kindly to that, and they had very visceral, very aggressive reactions, and we're going to take a look at these as well. And lastly, and I think I saved the best for last, we're gonna take a look about a few people being angry about idol being based in Israel, because you know the recent current popular trending topic is supporting Palestine, and if Israel is involved in any way in this sort of thing, then of course guilt by association is always strong, and you have to dunk on the company that's based in Israel. And we'll take a look at a little bit of what I can only call anti-Semitism here, because these people, they do not realize how radicalized they're becoming, and we're gonna take it this breeding ground for future neo-Nazi recruits here. And I really mean neo-Nazi, because they share the same viewpoints with these with the same people. It's pretty much Twitter political activism in a nutshell, and this is probably the biggest part of the stream and the most unhinged. You'll see the dumbest people, at least in a month, if not this year, in this section. I hope you enjoy. That's what we're gonna be taking a look at today. Seems like a lot of stuff, I know, but we might get through it fast. I don't know. I didn't estimate how much time it's gonna take to get through all of that. But you know, without further ado, let's take a look, and let's start with the Niji Sanji and Uki stuff, because that's the most topical thing currently going on. So let me just get my folders in order, and then we can talk about it. Hold on. There it is. And then we're also gonna watch a video with a compilation of a very angry gay man being upset about white people's existence for whatever reason. I don't know what hurt him so much when it comes to white people, but he's very upset. He's very bothered about these people. So here it is. You might be questioning, like, what prompted statements like this? Thank you, artists. Know that you are amazing. You should be proud of your work. You are so loved and appreciated. People who spread negativity have already made up their minds, so don't let a few bitches define your worth and your skill. Keep doing what you love. This is a response to a very popular tweet with a Niji Sanji fan artist showcasing their experience at a local anime convention, I think it was. I made a video about it, and they kind of got a little bit harassed. They got very negative comments at their booth, and they got upset about that, and that topic got trending for a while. So of course, thinking that this is a very good moment to regain a little bit of Niji Sanji's reputation after the Cell and Doki Bird fallout, you know, try to get on people's good sides again. They decided to come out and you know, go into the support of artists because they deserve it, and it's the right thing to do. But it's so very fucking clear that they're doing this to you know, score a little bit of recovery points to their reputation. And Uki here got reprimanded by some guy saying this: "What do you think about straight white men? Remind us of your opinion about straight white men, please, Mr. Positive Indian Love Spreader." And Uki, in his infinite wisdom, responded with, "They're just as irresponsible and selfish as your response," which is, you know, a very good PR for, again, a company that's been under fire for like a month now because of the terrible fucking decisions, and dunking on white people. Of course, it's the safe racism. It's the safe racism of Twitter. Try doing that with any other ethnicity or race, you're just gonna get lynched. But it's always trending, and it's always cool to dunk on these white people because, you know, all of that privilege that white people have, other skin tones, skin colors, they just don't have that. So, you know, you can be racist to white people. Of course you can't be. So, Oki here had a little bit of a tizzy. And in case you're wondering what this Monday banana person is talking about, well, he's talking about a series of comments that Uki has made in the past about white people, and we're gonna be taking a look at that compilation because it's really eye-opening. Let me get that up. Me lowered the music a little bit, and then we can watch it. Hold up. Hide these tweets.
Who does walk and run in the summer? It's so hot.
I mean,
no one does. I
Can I have a
guess.
person from each team join me over
White
here?
people.
Naruhodo.
Let's go, Rainbow Endo. Oh boy.
He's sweet. Yeah, he is. Haha. Surprise, white man does the bare minimum. You're a fucking psychotic, crazy white man.
Yeah, I was there. Max telling you a whole lot of bullshit.
Period.
You know what?
You know how when like white people kiss?
I don't. What do you fucking mean? What?
Like in the movies and stuff, when white people kiss, it's like they look like they're in pain. It looks like they don't want to do it.
Like fishes going on to each other and just sucking their faces?
Not
Is
even
that what you mean?
fishes. It's like
It's fish, by the way.
it's worse than
Triggered, chat. I'm triggered.
fishes. Like I don't kiss like that. And then sometimes some people like they do too much or whatever. I think I'm good.
You're like the smooth kisser, yes?
Yeah.
You like the smooch rather than the mooch. What am I saying?
You know what? White people's hot dog sucks in more ways than one. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Ookie, come on, bro.
Like even his fucking mates from the same fucking company, like just kind of laughing at this in a very uncomfortable fashion because, you know, at one point I think enough is enough. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, your jokes aren't even landing. You're just fucking racist. You just don't like white people, and anything that's associated with them for whatever fucking reason.
Well, you want to change my mind?
But
You want to change my mind?
I'm a pass. I'll find someone else for you. You know. You can take rent or something, man. I don't know, man. I'm good.
Fucking scary ass, creepy ass white man. Hate you.
Well, out of country for food? Mm?
you know, white people don't cook that good.
I would tend to disagree. I can quite cook very well. Perhaps I'll show you.
Yeah, you can show me anytime. Show me your fangs too.
Why did I even join this call?
There's have literally $0.
Fucking.
Ooh.
It's because the hosts are two white people.
Okay,
Wait,
food and drink.
One would just outright fucking ignore them.
It kind of looks bad. It kind of looks like it would match you if you were a pasty white person. So I'm gonna click out of that.
Whole compilation of this bullshit.
Like, why do brands do this? Not everyone looks like that. I know for a fact I don't. I mean, I am pretty pale, but not like that. You're just walking around and then
This is the worst one. This is the worst fucking thing.
this old white couple passes by you and they're like, hello, whatever. And I'm like, hello? Can I help you? We don't know each other. Why did you say hello? Why are you smiling at me?
Are you gonna rob me? Is that the way he thinks about the people, the old white couple? Am I gonna get robbed?
Why are you talking to me? What business do you have with me? And you know, by the time I'm thinking all these thoughts, they've already moved on and walked down the street and kept minding their business. But you know, you can't always. I grew up always having to be on alert, okay? I mean, I'm still on alert when I go outside. So, that's that. You never know. You always gotta be ready for the town had things to say.
I'm gonna tell you something about that, chat. I grew up in a pretty fucking bad neighborhood. This is gonna be a whole story, but you know, might as well. And in my neighborhood, there was because they moved out. There was a lot of Roma people, a lot of what people used to call gypsies, but it's no longer politically correct to call them gypsies. Just now you have to call them Roma people, and there was a lot of crime in my neighborhood, and a lot of it involved Roma people. But even then, with those crimes going on, in my mindset, even as a child, of like 10 years old or something like that, if I remember correctly, when most of that stuff was going on, even then, it didn't come to my mind, oh, all of the people that look like Roma people, they must all be criminals, therefore I must be guarded at all times because I'm gonna get hurt if I'm around them. It didn't cross my mind, you know, to think in such a way, because I know not all of them did that. Because I had friends that were Roma people. Like I had two friends, like two siblings, like a boy and a girl, and they had a just completely normal family. Like they were just like that, and it didn't really matter that, you know, that the vast majority of crimes in my neighborhood was committed by people that looked in that kind of way. And you know, if you have a little bit of common sense, even as a child, because kids, especially nowadays when you look at social media, they don't seem smart, but a lot of kids are smart, and they can tell what's bullshit and what isn't. And I like to think I was a child that could tell, you know, good from bad, and how you shouldn't be judging people all the same because because they look similar to one another. But here, Uki, in his again vast wisdom and his experiences about which he doesn't really elaborate on, he'd rather be prejudiced as fuck and, you know, blame Whitey, because that's the best kind of fucking solution to your problems. Just blame it on a certain, you know, look of people. Just blame it on like a huge a huge majority in a lot of countries, because, you know, they're at fault for all of your problems because they look the same, and of course they're gonna be acting the same. So yeah, Fuck this guy and he's fucking lederhosen.
Because you know all these white people are out here, and it's just like, where all these Asian people come from?
What an asshole. Hope he graduates. Which in Nijisanji is very easy. So a very quick graduation to Uki Violeta and his racist ass. I don't feel bad about saying that. But you know, this wasn't the end of it, unfortunately, because there's of course people coming out to defend this. Kyo isn't one of them. He's Victoria Brightshield, responding to another of these one guyers. I don't know what this guy actually told her, but she was also making one of those positive statements about supporting artists, and some guy decided to get on her case. Don't remember exactly what he said, but she responded with something like this. Explain to me how supporting foreign artists makes me a corporate bootlicker without using a random buzzwords you've learned this week. And yeah, Nijisaji VTubers, after Stolen Buck broke them during this last month, they seem to be very easily one-guyed on social media. And you know, this is not as bad as of course what Uki did, but as far as a PR statement goes, I think this would only go over well with terminally online zoomers, because they see this kind of behavior and go, look at this brave VTuber standing up for herself as an unreasonable person tries to dunk on a very positive statement. Again, to me, as good as these comments about supporting artists are, to me this all seems just like a reputation recovery move. Because again, why do this at this point and not any other? Why this outpouring of positivity at this particular time and not beforehand? But you know, again, it is what it is. And here's Kyo commenting on it. Victoria Brightshield, my new Nijioshi. And here's my favorite journal, my favorite VTuber journalist, of course, not liking Kyo's commenting on Uki's in a negative fashion, because he commented that, you know, Uki shouldn't probably have said the racist shit that he said, but he did actually like what Victoria Brightshield there said, and Daki here with his infinitely popular good takes say this. Oh yeah, get me my music up. I hate forgetting to bring it back up again. Okay, it's back up. Dunkin on Taunting Hater, Funny Yoshi. Dunkin on Taunting Hater with the most tame white person joke. How dare you? Seriously, losing faith in this field. Can't believe you then milked an 8-minute video from it. Where's the voices on the legitimate racism in this space? Might I remind you that this guy, this motherfucker right here, this duck-billed retard, is so bad his job. I had to do a stream about him to deconstruct all the times that he was an embarrassment to the term, to the vocation of journalist. And I know how that sounds, because being a journal nowadays, it's essentially the same as admitting to having some kind of mental illness and having no other job prospects that pay you well. I know how that sounds, but I had a whole stream about this guy just being completely incompetent and causing drama on his own. And he has the fucking balls to say things about, you know, tame white person jokes and legitimate racism when he's the guy that actually, you know, wrote articles about Kotoka from Nijisanji, calling NPCs retards and fueling the fire of this whole non-issue. This wasn't a drama before this dumbass didn't get on that case. He wrote a whole fucking article about Niji Sanji VTuber calling some kind of, I don't know, malformed sea lion from a game retards. This was so offensive to him that he wrote a whole ass article on it, and then, you know, lived off it for like a week or so. And of course, you know, he got rightfully dunked on that, but you know, this guy has absolutely no shame. And in case you need another recap, during the whole Hogwarts Legacy thing, he just completely dismissed people getting harassed because they wanted to play a game. He'd rather focus on the most important things. But what about the trans people getting harassed? Because, you know, their issues aren't heard about and they're ignored because these people want to play this video game. Absolute clown. This person. He's more of an ad man for Niji Sanji because he thinks he can like get a boot into the door and you know, cover in company exclusive stories about them because he really wants to do that shit. And how do I know he wants to do that shit? Well, take a look at some of his other tweets about it. Before he criticizes me for not approaching it in DMs with him again, but be for real. You cannot tell me the same person sent these two tweets within 12 hours of each other. Anyways, if you want actual news on Uki, Violetta, and Noctis, they just revealed their second anniversary merchant program, including their second music single and the final episode of Level Up. No, Ducky, that isn't news. That's an ad. And some people pointed it out to him that, you know, him being a former Dexerto writer, he cannot tell the difference between an article and an ad because that's all they do, other than just taking content from Reddit and making it into articles, because that's what they do. So again, he really wants to suck that dick, and that might be homophobic of me because the guy is actually gay, but he is a metaphorical dick sucker, at least when it comes to sucking off Niji Sanji and doing free ads for them in this fucking form. So again, another pearl of wisdom from my favorite fucking VTuber journalist. Holy fucking shit. And then, you know, in case you're wondering if what kind of responses there was to that, of course Ducky got dunked on, but we're not looking at these responses. We're looking at the people that actually agree with this sort of thing, because Niji Sanji fandom is full of these racist Niji sisters that, again, generally don't think that you can be racist towards white people, because the usual spiel about, you know, white people being privileged, not having suffered under racial prejudice for centuries, and not being subject to slavery, which is of course wrong on so many levels. But yeah, let's take a look at what some of these people had to say here. Seeing so many people dunking on Uki for being racist. Lord, I have never seen white people actually being discriminated in real life. Prejudiced against? Yes, but they always have this utmost privilege and people worship the ground they walk on. Get the fuck out. Racism on white does not exist. Where is this fucking where's this country? Where's this white ethno state where white people are worshipped by one another, or have, I don't know, like differently colored slaves on leashes that worship the ground they walk on? I do not know what kind of reality this person exists in, but I do not fucking know where a space like that exists, where that happens. But you know, these are the type of people that we're dealing here with. Kyo is just weird. in my opinion. Hates Rinji, but praises one talent for doing a clapback, but gets mad at another for a toothless white people clapback on a troll. I'm sorry, but if you can't handle one white person joke, skill issue, get thicker skin. You have to understand that if this situation was reversed, or well, not even reversed, if it dealt with some other you know, ethnicity or skin color, if this was about black people, if this is what was about Asians, people would be outraged about these kinds of jokes. Because imagine Uki making jokes about black people, they would shit themselves. But of course, this isn't even on social media in any kind of sense, because hating on white people is the trending thing nowadays. It's very safe, and you're actually gonna get ass pats for it from other fucking racists, and it's very easy to spot these people because they always congregate in the same places. So in case you wanted a list of racists, just go and look up these tweets, because that's where they are. The comment was rude and prejudiced, but be fucking real. Y'all white people cannot be crying racism like y'all have been mass murdered and daily assaulted and harassed for being white. Well, South Africa. Try that country, for example. Living at the top of the race hierarchy and getting mad over a comment that has no racist history or slurs. These people, I like their little world fucking view. Because, you know, just because of a group has suffered less because of certain prejudices, that means you can be as racist as much as you want to be. I do wonder how these people interact with others in their daily life. Like, what kind of comments do they make when they go outside and meet other people? Do they just have the same opinions online? Because it's very easy to have opinions like this online. Like, the worst that can happen to you is someone's gonna call you a retard, or worse. But you know, sticks and stones, that kind of thing. But how do you exist like that in real life and not get punched in the face? I don't know. And you know, let's take a look at a few memes that came out of it, because there were a few. Here's a little promotional post about Uki Violeta, and the best kind of ad Niji-sanji can run for him right now. Surprised, white man does the bare minimum. It's the who walks and runs in the summer. White people. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he actually meant by that. Is this some kind of I don't know, for the four-dimensional joke that, you know, you have to be a racist piece of shit to understand? Who walks and runs in the summer? White people. What the fuck does that even mean? Is it because when you see joggers and you see people going on walks, it's because they're white, and white people tend to jog a lot? Is that the joke? I do not know. I do not understand. Sorry, I'm not thick-brained like Uki here is. And there's a few more quotes. Fucking scary ass, creepy ass white man. Why did I even join this call? The hosts are two white people. Well, also, obviously you're a fucking psychotic, crazy white man. I take white people greeting me as offense. Uki. Any color but white. Violeta. And here's a really good fortune parody of Uki's behavior. In case you do not know the original one, the original story here deals with a different group of people. White people could be here, he thought. I never been in this neighborhood before. There could be white people anywhere. The cool wind felt good against his bare chest. I hate white people, he thought. Electric Six's gay bar reverberated his entire car, making it pulsate even as the load he just swallowed circulated through his powerful thick veins and washed away his unmerited fear of whites after dark. With a car, you can go anywhere you want, he said to himself out loud. God damn. Here's a little parody of Uki meaning the old white couple. Hello. Hello. Later. And in case you don't know this meme schematic here, it's basically him getting upset about his encounter and then going online to talk about it. Lastly, here's a little bit of a mention from a Reddit. Here's a few people replying to a Reddit, now deleted Reddit topic about Uki's behavior, his anti-white racist behavior. And there's a little bit of mention here. A popular group of VTubers, both agency and indie, for whatever reason, get mentioned here. Probably the same reason people still support other VTubers after they've been found out to be racist. This isn't really a new thing. There are a lot of VTubers who are racist against black people and Jewish people, who still have the support to this day. Which VTubers are those? Because this is the first time hearing about it. Look up Pippa, is a Nazi. Off the top of my head, Pippa, and Hime, and Mari. Yes, VTuber Pipkin Pippa, and Mari _EN, the worst racist you ever heard about. And of course, in case you don't know, because you or rather you're not insane, maybe that's the better way to describe this. None of these VTubers are racist, and I don't think Aunt Hime is either. I think Aunt Hime is just a shit poster. I don't know if she's racist or not, but I haven't seen it. If she is, then whatever. But for a fact know that Pippa and especially Mari _EN are not fucking racists. But it's Reddit. Reddit doesn't fact check itself. And this is the official Niji-sanji subreddit, by the way. And as Uki's racist compilation was getting circulated, by that I mean the videos we just watched, a lot of topics were deleted from the subreddit, and yeah, the Jannies over there had a field day. But yeah, that's the latest Niji-sanji happenings for you. I just fucking hope they stop themselves and just fucking stream, because I'm really sick of them. I don't want to utter the word Niji-sanji more than I need to every single week. There's other stuff to cover, and now that we're through it, let's move on to the next topic. Which one should we tackle next here? We have a few. We could take a look at. Let's go through the awful VTuber manager stories, because that's actually one of the more serious ones we have today. And after that, it's just the equivalent of shitposting online. So let's take a look at this VTuber manager you probably haven't heard about, but that's actually kind of prominent, or at least was kind of prominent within certain spheres. So let's take a look at what this thing was. Hello, I've been dealing with this issue behind the scenes with my former manager. I wanted to talk about it and share my story so other people aren't put in the same position I was. And they made a whole document here, which is gonna be reading. It's not very long, so don't worry. Not another 7-hour stream. It's not happening. Isa's statement. Ifil Bunny, aka Erin, borrowed 1.1k from me, and I have been told she borrowed from others and hasn't repaid it and did not communicate for very long periods of time. I've been under Erin's management since December last year. Having been introduced by a mutual friend, initially I was thrilled to work with her, given her track record of working with bigger streamers. Erin approached me for a loan barely a month into our acquaintance. I started talking with her on the 11/10 of 2023, and she asked me to loan her money on the 12/8 2023. Despite my initial skepticism, she framed it as a dire situation, almost as if it was my assistance on or her facing financial ruin. She dropped our mutual friend's name, Lotus, implying they were supportive of her request. I asked this friend, and they told me that they assured me Erin was good for it under false pretenses. Erin had told her she would be asking for small amounts, around $100, something completely different from what she told me. Feeling hopeful about our professional relationship, I agreed, considering an investment in us working together, but making it clear that this was a loan and not money being gifted to her. And here's the recipes of that. Let's take a look what she had to say. Isa, I'm going through a bit of a hardship. I'm reluctant to ask for help. I generally am an absolute loss for anyone in a position to help. I was laid off at the game studio I was working at. I was landed another job. I'm short on my rent. My savings went away by way of preparing for my father's funeral. I'm short $1,100. Lolo has suggested ask friends to contribute what they could. If you're able to kick anything in, I will repay you. I'm not looking for a handout, just a temporary help in this really tough time. I hope you don't think less of me for asking. I genuinely don't want to make things awkward. If you can't, I understand. I'm just trying to do everything I can do to keep a roof over my head. I can definitely chip in some. Do you still need the full amount? Sadly, yes. I've been able to work it down from the 2 months I had gotten behind. It was $5,200. Said my laptop. I sold my laptop, consoles, and anything I could to help. That's why I cook at home. I've minimized every expense. Friends chipping in help me more. That's how I got to this amount. I can show you me paying my landlord. I know this is a lot to ask. I want to give full transparency. Sorry, this is like a rude question. Do you know when a new job will start and when you might pay it back? I'm really sorry to hear you're dealing with this. End-of-life care is so expensive. I have orientation on Monday. I should be back on my feet within 2 months. Could possibly do it faster. I just have to get my first pay and I'll just get the loan from my credit union on my car. It's paid off. I just need me to have proof of income. I have 17k in equity on it. It's less than 50k miles. No accidents. Okay, I can give you the rest for now. 1,100? Yes, I'll show you it going to my landlord. I want to show you I'm above board. I believe you. Just don't run away with it, LOL. Famous last words. And let's make some money this year. There's more. Fast forward to now. Erin promised to repay in 2 months. I've been met with complete radio silence despite my repeated attempts to contact her. The 1.1k she borrowed is a lot to me. It covers a month's worth of rent, groceries, and insurance expenses. Send the request through my Chase app, the day interface for Zelle. Thank you, by the way, and I made note of it as a loan. I know it's not a gift, and I will repay you as soon as possible. I have a limit of 1k a day. I send 1k, send the last bit tomorrow. That's fine. I'll let my landlord know. Did you get it? Yes, received. Thank you. Thank you, Isa. I genuinely appreciate you helping me. No problem. What's particularly troubling is that what I've learned, I'm not alone in this. Several other creators have shared similar experiences after either being solicited for loans or already having given money to Erin. It's disheartening to realize that Erin specifically targets smaller streamers like myself, taking advantage of our generosity and trust. I wouldn't. I'd rather die than hurt someone in any way. What would be the easiest way for you to send it? Do you want it over Zelle? It'll be a lot easier. That's how I'm sending it to my landlord. What number do I send it to? Let me do this when I land. When I land later, I don't want to do my banking over the plane Wi-Fi. Yes, of course. But by the way, never log into never log into your secure accounts, especially your fucking banking accounts, on fucking airport Wi-Fi. Don't do any of that shit on anyone's Wi-Fi. You should no, do it on your fucking home network that's secure on top of that. Don't even fucking think about doing that on the airport, man. I met your kindness here and genuinely appreciate you so freaking much right now. Thanks for taking me on this here. I'm excited to work with you, but I can't work with you if you're not good at home. I firmly believe that individuals should be cautious about engaging with Erin in any capacity given her unprofessional conduct. While her lack of effectiveness as a manager is noteworthy, the primary issue remains her failure to uphold her financial obligations. And here's them contacting her. Hey Erin, just checking about the 1.1k I loaned you back in December. And managed this from February 8th. In 2 months. Over 2 months at that point. You mentioned you'd be able to pay me back in 2 months. I wanted to touch base and see if that's still the plan. Totally get that things can change, so just give me heads up on what works for you. Thanks. They're being very patient with this person. Hey Erin, following up on my 1.1k again. I'm getting a little concerned about the lack of updates and communication on your end. I know you've been going through a lot, but I am owed at least regular communication. Please reply soon. Still a bit too courteous at this point. I think it's time to get angry. I'm super disheartened. It's super disheartening to see you active and doing things online, leaving me to think you're actively ignoring me. It's been 2 months and I've heard nothing from you about the money you owe me. I would like to resolve this quietly, or I'm going to say something. I'm giving you to the 21st to resolve this, or I will take it public. Again, still a very kind way to put it. Talking to your scammer like this. And they finally actually replied. Whoa. Let me have a sip. Because again, hydrating has been a problem during the last few weeks. Hey Isa, I've been doing a lot to try to get on my feet. I know I owe you. I will pay you back. The last thing I want to owe you. Further, I do not want you feeling disrespected. All what I'm to share is not to evoke any emotion, but just tell you how things are. I have no income right now. When you lent me the 1,100 for my rent, I was not able to predict my circumstances getting worse. I've been trying hard to just get my life back together. I'm applying for any local jobs, both part-time and full-time. I've also filed my taxes. I'm putting this in writing that I will repay you on before Friday, April 5th. Should I be late, I will add a 10% late fee per week of my outstanding debt to you if I'm unable to honor the 5th. I will keep you informed as anything progresses. I want to pay you as soon as I can. I'm sorry my circumstances changed. I did not expect what happened to occur. If I get any income, it's between now and that date. I will send it to you. I have nothing in my bank account right now. The flu did not do me any favors. I'm sorry to hear about your situation, but I can't help but think this is further exploitation of my patience and kindness. Again, being way too courteous with this person. You haven't given me any reason to believe that things will meaningfully change for the better or kept any previous promises, so I hope you understand that my patience is out. I know you have borrowed money from other people, and I can't help but feel that you put us all in precarious situation of your own making, and there simply isn't any more grace I have left to give you. The money I lent you was lent with very clear terms, and the terms haven't been met. You keep saying, keep me informed, and that you haven't expected that what has happened to happen. But again, you haven't once given me any reason to believe you are willing to or even capable of making good on your promises. I did not keep you informed because I was just not mentally able. I was in shambles. I'll give you an update each week if that's what it will take. I know precisely who helped me. I'll also repay them. I'm sorry I cannot do it sooner. God, I wish I could help. I showed that I paid my landlord. I'm still struggling right now. I can show you my Chase account. It is in negative and I have $1 to my name in my savings. If you want, you kept me from being homeless. I appreciate that more than you will ever know. I understand I wasn't able to live up to promises, but I'm trying to, in earnest, fix my situation so I can make things right. Taking this public is more about making people aware of your behavior because it's affecting multiple people. And it's totally unacceptable. Circumstances are certainly rough, but it's hard not to see this is taking advantage of any and all goodwill put towards you. Lotus's statement, because you know there's more people that had dealings with this person. I was working under Erin's management since last September. We actually met through a mutual friend and then realized we know each other from a community we were both part of 7 years ago. Where Erin was a community manager. We only worked together for 5 months, but Erin represented this to people to make it sound like we had been friends for 10 years. In December, Erin came to me in panic, saying that we were on the verge of being homeless and losing everything despite trying everything they could think of. They were $1,800 short on rent and didn't know what to do, so they turned to me for help. I've been homeless before. I know how scary that can be. I felt for them and watched pitch in however I could. Erin made it sound urgent, like they were going to end up on the streets unless I got this money pronto. Lol, I have to ask, and I hate asking, but were you on serious about temporarily helping me out? I am still short on rent, but they won't evict me if I can come up to $1,800. I'll pay you back and sign a repayment letter to you. I did get a second job, which orientation is to begin on the 11th. And if you can't, I'm sorry, there's no pressure. For sure, if you don't mind me asking, how short are you on rent so I can try to think of a plan? My rent is $2,600. I've been behind 2 months. I paid them $3,500. I still have $1,700 plus $100 late fee outstanding. Okay, noted. This is the first time ever that I haven't been able to pay my bills. I can probably do around $500. I think of that it might not be much, but it's a start. I know this is hard, but have you thought about asking Redacted? Maybe I know Redacted has money. I thought maybe Erin's friends associate could chip in around 100 each, and I figured that if enough people in the community/network helped out, we could cover the rent shortfall. I kicked things off by putting $500 of my own money into the pot, trusting Erin's promise to pay me and everyone back. To reiterate, my understanding was that we were only trying to cover the $1,100 deficit. And the last update I got about Erin's financial situation was that $1,000 had been raised, including my money, which was promising. But then I found Erin was asking for more money from people that she initially had told me she needed, and worse, was using my name to make it seem like I was fully on board with her asking for huge amounts of money, which was not the case. Of course, no, do I care much to remember? How about we ask a couple of people for 100? It's not too much people can fork over, and I don't know who to ask. I also feel weird asking. That's why I'm so stressed. That's why they're asking so many people behind the scenes without telling anybody. But then again, later got found out that they were asking essentially everybody. Thank you for the suggestion. I asked a few. Redacted kicked in $100. Redacted kicked in $400. Now just need $1,200. Yes, we are getting there. Trying. Giving someone and subsequently losing $500 is a big deal for me. I could have gone towards my own bills and personal finances. I was trying to be understanding of Erin's situation and give her some time to sort things out. After deciding to part ways with Erin's management on February 5th, she's completely disappeared on me, and all the while still being active in her community. empathize with anyone's challenges regarding housing insecurity and the need for community support. The unauthorized use of my name to lend credibility to her supported fundraising efforts without my consent is deeply troubling, especially after finding out she solicited and received thousands of dollars, significantly more than the 1,100 I and others were told about. This is not what we discussed, and Erin continued to use my name to back their funding, all while misrepresenting my own relationship to her. And then there were more people on Twitter pitching in on this because she was involved with that many people. Regarding the whole Erin Evil Bunny situation, I know Erin for quite some time. It all started with the fiasco from years and years ago that spread like wildfire. I think everyone in this industry knows about this particular event, and my initial thoughts were, oh, fucking hell, I would never want to work with a person like that. Well, skip forward several years, and I met her through a moderation Discord server we shared. First, I had totally forgot about the drama, and to be honest, she came across quite nicely. Over a period of time, we got to know one another. At first, I thought this could be a fantastic avenue to get into paid moderation finally. I never been particularly fussed about being paid for my services, as I enjoyed doing it as a hobby, but it did not consume a lot of my time. Being a paid Jenny, not a very good job prospect, I have to say. But is that actually for Discord? Because being a paid Discord Jenny sounds kind of miserable. Let's continue. However, things started to change within my life, where I had to step away from moderation due to, well, life. A number of months ago, I volunteered to moderate two wonderful streamers who I still occasionally pop in their streams or to see how things are running on their respective Discord servers. Not too long ago, in the very same moderation server, she had another cry for help, which I flat out refused due to personal life matters. After I stated why I was unwilling to help her, she put another message in the server as a cry for help. Naturally, I want to help people, but at the end of the day, my personal life comes first over my career. Whilst writing this column within the last 12 hours, it has come to my attention that Erin was back up to her old tricks, and I'm beyond angry and disgusted to have worked with her. I've cut ties with her permanently now. I have her blocked on social media outlets, banned her in places I have power to, and even removed her from LinkedIn and my personal mobile. Erin, I am sorry for all the shit you have gone through recently, but you needed to be more transparent to keep kept your clients up to date more clearly. Begging for money isn't cool either. Kazan. I wonder if her stories are actually true though. Like, all of that can be bullshit because, you know, anyone can have a really good sub story nowadays, and people really fall for this fast. I've seen so many fundraisers for people suddenly having emergencies after emergencies, like constantly, because, you know, when it works once, it might just work several times after that. And people are so quick to fall for that. Because, you know, you want to be the good guy to help the underprivileged or suffering person. And here's Linux, which you may remember from the recent Marina drama, which had also some encounters with this evil bunny person. Please be cautious around the CCM evil bunny, Erin. This pains me to post. I hope you can all be patient with me, as I will be long enough to focus on my move for the next few days. I'm tired of people being hurt by others. She's been doing this to people since at least 2016. Please take time to read this, as it took a lot of me to compile info and articulate myself on the subject. People need to be aware. She's been able to do this for so long because people aren't aware. Please retweet if you can. Stay safe. And yeah, there was another account here which I didn't include because it might be bullshit, and I know how that sounds. Like me, not including accounts of someone that may be talking bullshit. But it's Sylvie Spark, one of the people that AstroTurf's harassment and constantly tries to defend Marina on Sock Puppet's account, so I didn't include his account because one, it was too long, one, two, I'm lazy like that, and three, who the fuck knows if that guy is actually telling the truth or bullshitting. So in terms of quote unquote legitimate accounts, these are the ones that are currently talking about it. But yeah, a VTuber manager you didn't hear about was apparently involved with so many fucking people and stole thousands of dollars just under people's noses. Magnificent. And that's the story. And now we can move on to things that are a little bit more funny. So which one should we move on to next? I think it's either the Vosh thing, or we're gonna move to the washed up lawyer thing. I think Vosh should be first on this list. And why? Because it's mostly video content here, and I can watch it together with you while just giving my comments here and there. Here's the infamous screen cap, of course, censored from the stream, in which Vosh showed his porn stash, his folder. Apart from some anime hentai images that were just kind of included blowjobs and shit like that, just kind of weird tame stuff. I think there was some maybe Has-Been Hotel in there, I don't remember correctly, but what caught people's attention in this screenshot is are a few particular images which make this connected to VTubers, and by that I mean there's Natsuhiro Matsuri porn in there, one with her version, with her swimsuit version, if you remember that one, an excellent tan swimsuit version of Matsuri giving a BJ, and another image of two Natsuhiro Matsuris, like my own fucking clone, that kind of thing. One of them getting ass fucked by a dude, while the other Matsuri is engaging in a little bit of eating that other Matsuri out. That's the best way I can describe it. And one of the other egregious images, the funnier images in there, which will, you know, will never ever leave Vosh at this point. He's never gonna beat the horsefucker allegations, is that there's several images in there, at least 3, but if I remember correctly, of AI generated what's the best way to describe it? Let me pose the scene for you here. 2 girls, one of them being stacked, the stacked one being bent over a table, the other one, which is a lolly by the way, standing on the right side, and in the middle of them is a huge AI generated fucking horse with a huge horse instrument, a huge horse cock in there, and he's plowing the girl bent over while the lolly is eating out the horse's ass. Again, can show that I think that even talking about it might get us bonked on YouTube, but I don't know. I'm talking about it anyway. So that's the image. That's image number 1, the AI generated one. AI generated image number 2. It involves 2 anime women sitting in front of a bucket, and there's a huge horse penis guzzling tons of cum into the bucket, and both of these women stare at the bucket in awe. So that's the content that Vosh had on his hard drive, and he accidentally revealed it next to the folder with his taxes in it, which again, it poses a lot of weird questions about Vosh you probably never had. outside of those, is this guy older mentally? And how much of the horse fucking does he actually like? And the answer to that is he probably likes all of it. But, you know, Vosh had a certain explanation for what he experienced with within that folder. Well, he tried to explain it away, actually, very badly, mind you, and we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch that clip as he tries to explain his porn habits to his wider community and the people on social media. Where was this? There it is.
The other one
Hold
is
up. We lowered the music a little bit. There it is.
one is like a threesome with 2 chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing, you know?
No, these anime women were short, but they weren't stacked. They weren't thick. They had very lolicon appealing proportions there, Vosh. They were unmistakably lollies. Very hard to see that as anything else, especially within that fucking horse ass eating image. That was a pure fucking lolly. That's not something you could mistake for like a short stack, whatever.
What I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn. You'll have to entertain me for a moment.
No, not like goblins. Goblins are much shorter and Vosh. There's also something goblins have that, you know, normal anime girls, short anime girls don't have, and that's you know, they're green skinned. That's one, and two, they usually have pointy ears and very sharp teeth. But here he's kind of comparing them to how goblins are drawn. But again, if you ever saw goblin porn, and I saw a lot of it, whether willingly or not, goblins are always drawn really, really short, like very, very stocky, very, very stacked usually. If you ever saw any Midna porn, like from Twilight Princess, yeah, I think it was Twilight Princess. Midna and these goblins usually share the same kind of body proportions. So what Vosh saw, what he had saved in his fucking folder, were unmistakably lollies. And considering where, again, you have to consider this. There's places you can get AI generated stuff on Twitter, of course, but it's extremely hard to get like AI generated horsecock anime images on Twitter because a lot of these searchers won't go through. The best way to get the images that are that specific is to go on Borus, and there's one specific Boru that will have images like that, especially AI generated, because there's a particular Boru that just lets you upload any kind of images of that kind, and that's Sankaku channel. So Vosh, without a doubt, went to Sankaku channel. I'm almost certain of it. And he entered very specific tags to get what he wanted. Because, you know, we can AI generate almost anything. And I'm quite sure he got those horse fucking images from Sankaku channel. And on Sankaku channel, the most popular tags are showcased on the left side of your screen in the browser. And the most popular tags are at the top. So it's impossible to mistake what you saw in his images as goblins, because it would show up as goblins or whatever. One of the tags is probably at the very tippy top of the list there is probably Lolicon. I'm quite sure of that. And if I wanted to reverse search the images that Vosh had, those AI generated images that Vosh had on his hard drive, I'm quite sure I would find them quite easily on Sankaku channel. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. Again, can't show that, but I can easily look it up. Let's see how long it takes me to actually find it. So you guys wait up, and I'm gonna quickly enter a few tags here and there, and let's see. Let's see if what comes out. Yep, found them almost immediately. I put in AI generated and horse and found it on the very first fucking page. So again, that's how quickly it took. So yeah, Vosh probably did something like that to get these specific images. And they're just straight up there. And so easy found too. So yeah. But that's how Vosh explains it. Let's listen to what else
on this
say.
presumed shared knowledge of how goblins get drawn in pornography. But you know how they're all like thick short stacks, right? The other one,
again, not thick, and that's all he had to say about that. And then he released, because you know, people who started digging into his shit, and they started digging into his shit very hard about every single fucking suspect thing he said. So then he released like a 1 hour and like 40 something minutes stream where he defends himself and quote unquote apologizes for it. We're not gonna watch any of that shit because I'm not interested in someone's fucking backpedaling. It's on his channel, so if you want to watch his quote unquote apology video to his followers that of course are gonna believe him anyway. And since that fucking guy has no shame anyway, he's just gonna stick around until someone, you know, I don't know. Until he does something so monumentally stupid that it's just inexcusable and he would have to leave the internet, but I don't know what he would have to do. He'd have to probably be revealed as a genuine pedophile. Like, he would actually have to be caught with some fucking CP. Which I hope he doesn't fucking have. I do not want more fucking pedophiles in this fucking world, but considering how his comments in the past, I'm very suspect of what else he had in his porn stash. Because, you know, as dumb as he fucking is to have, you know, to stream the way he does with just his full desktop on display. Because, you know, if you're smart enough with your fucking streaming, and you don't have to be smart enough at all, you just, you know, set up scenes properly so your desktop will never fucking show up. You just set up specific windows and just click through them. And then you have scenes you can mix through, right? Like, doesn't really take all that much time to do. So, mishaps like Vosh had over there is just, you know, out of laziness and stupidity. But, you know, we're less here to talk about Vosh and more about the reaction to what happened to Vosh. And with that, we're gonna be watching a few videos. The first one is from a YouTuber called Tipster. He's a drama YouTuber, like 100k on YouTube, but he gets less views than I do on these videos, which is kind of funny to me. But, you know, considering what Vosh did, and as I said at the beginning of the stream, anime is to blame for this, not Vosh being a dumb hypocrite and not having any principles of his own. But anime is to blame. Anime and Japan and the whole anime fandom and industry is to blame for this. So let's take a look at what some weird people had to say for brownie points about it. First, we have Hipster. Let me get the volume down just a little bit again. We can watch that.
Honestly, ruined anime for me in general. I said it before, like, hentai was never my thing, but if you're into hentai, honestly, just stay the fuck away from that shit, because holy fuck, like, you could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself
No. That's not how it works. I don't think it works like that, man. If an anime character looks to like a child, that's a thing that you guys consider suspect, you would know immediately. It's not like, what surprise, it's lolicon. It doesn't work like that. It's not that you look at a character and then you later find out it's loli. If you watch any kind of anime, you will understand what a loli is. It's not like surprise lolicon. It doesn't jump out at you like from the bushes or some shit like that. That's a nonsensical argument.
In a situation like this. So this whole situation has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that
it's Vosh liking lolicon, having lolicon porn in his folders ruined anime for him.
I never want to watch anime again. I don't want anything to do with anime. I got my waist bin here and I got some of my anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. Fuck it.
Death Note, the lolicon pervert anime, known for having egregious sexualized content with lollies in it.
Throw it in the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z, another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin. Robotech seems pretty harmless, but who knows? Maybe there's some lolly in there. Throw it in the fucking bin. Ease, based on one of my favorite RPG franchises, in the fucking bin. Hell, I've got video games that are anime inspired. Those go in the bin too. Ease, the video game, gone. The Final Fantasy games, there's probably some lolly in there somewhere. Get rid of them. Final Fantasy.
This is so fucking performative. I don't know who he's fooling with this. I really don't know.
7 remakes, gotta go. Catherine, pretty sure there might be something sussy in there. Let's get rid of it. And just for good measure, Ethan Cole.
Also, the only one that actually belongs in the bin there is Robotech. I'm sorry to you US bros, but the existence of Robotech is a fucking sin. If you want to watch the quote-unquote proper version of Robotech, just go watch fucking Macros. Robotech is it's a travesty, and the whole situation with that is something I could probably do a whole stream about, but I won't do that. About the history of Macros producers and what the Robotech fuckers did to them. That's actually something that actually belongs in the trash, unlike these other things he's throwing in there.
People he views as lolicons, he calls them lollipops. So we'll get rid of Lollipop Chainsaw just to be on the fucking safe side. I'm so sick of anime at this point. I want nothing to fucking do with it. No more anime in my house. I'm sorry, babe. I know you're in the other room. I know you still like Pokemon and shit like that. No more. No.
This fucking blob-looking guy has something in the next room. That's apparently his girlfriend. Okay.
Mas, it's Jover. No more anime in this house. Fuck that shit.
What the fuck is this performance? Holy shit. How do you go from, I don't know, these are very specific series he had there, like this, I mean, not on the level of mainstream popularity, but kind of a niche, could call it kind of a niche RPG, I guess. A very specific, interest in there, but if he was a real fan, he would know that it doesn't have that kind of thing in it. Especially since he threw in like this 1 and 2 in there. He's actually married and he behaves like this. All right. I mean, I'm not even surprised these days with, people like this being married. Like there's Ethan Ralph, who was married like 2 times, actually has 2 fucking kids. Somehow these people have fucking reproduced. I don't know how they did that. I don't know how they pulled these women. Are these women dumb? I guess they are, because at this point, I don't know who I'm supposed to fucking blame for their life choices. Should I blame all of this on I don't know, because I don't think Tipster, Ethan, and Ralph have, you know, this this stud charisma to them that pulls in all the women. I think it's just, you know, bad decisions on every single fucking side. I don't know how they do that. Some people in the chat keep saying groomed. You actually have to have some level of smarts to groom somebody, and Hipster and Ethan Ralph aren't the brightest bulbs. So I guess again stupidity comes into play here. That's how these people get women, and then reproduce someone bringing these poor fucking children into the world that have pieces of shit as fathers, and sometimes the mothers also is just as bad in this equation. But that aside, this was not the only reaction to this. There were so many. It was like Drama Alert talked about this, the Vosh thing. Ian Miles fucking Chong. Oh, you guys don't want to know about his fucking past. I mean, the fucking flashbanging of dogs aside, the guy used to be what people used to call an actual SJW. There's a video out there with him commenting, like he had a whole commentary video with him wearing a pink shirt, being kind of angry why FIFA 14, I think. Why does FIFA 14 doesn't have female playable characters? That kind of shit. But yeah, these are the type of people that got angry at anime. Got angry at anime instead of, you know, of Vosh. Vosh became like a side story to this. Anime bad is the main reason so many people decided to speak out about it. And Rev says this, who made a video about it, and I'm gonna watch that because I'm lazy and Saturday is my day off and I just want to relax and talk and watch bullshit. So here's a Rev video.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So today we're going to be talking about
a bit too big. About a YouTuber called Meat Canyon, responsible for a lot of what would you call that? Like egregious animations that were made for the purpose of disgusting you, like gross out sort of humor, that kind of thing. And he decided to make a video about the recent Vosh controversy and anime in general, because why the fuck not? You know, have to get these fucking views somehow. So let's watch that in its entirety, so I can be a lazy piece of shit. I can be a Twitch streamer.
Meat Canyon, who is an animator slash content creator. You can see his main channel right here. He also has an alt channel called Papa Meat, where yesterday he released this absolute stinker called The Worst Fan Base on the Internet.
That's K-pop stans. That's the worst fan base on the internet. Not anime fans, K-pop stans. Like, I think they take a crown. Like, argue with me all you want. Like, present your best arguments for the worst fandom on the internet. And I don't think you'll find someone worse than K-pop stans. I don't think that there's anyone as bad as them. Maybe furries. Maybe furries, but not all furries are bad. But all K-pop stans are actually bad. And I don't mean fans, I mean specifically stans. So, yeah. Maybe we'll do a stream about the worst fandoms on the internet at some point too. Because, you know, why the fuck not? There's so much interesting stuff in there. Well, let's watch Rev's video.
Now, that fan base he's referring to is lolicons, as well as anime fans generally, because throughout the video, multiple times, he lumps those two groups together. Now, this is a big mistake, not only because of the outrageous claims he makes throughout this video, but also the fact that over the years, Meat Canyon has made multiple animations sexualizing underage characters, including one video where he uses a real child as a reference for his sexualized animation. Big mistake on his part talking about any of this stuff. But why did he decide to throw his hat in the ring on this conversation? Well, he cites Vosh and the recent situation involving him. Now, if you want a breakdown of what happened about 2 weeks ago to Vosh, you can find a link to my video about it in the description. But the too long didn't read version of events is basically that Vosh has been very, very vocal about his disdain about lolicons and anime fans, calling them pedophiles and Nazis for the fictional content they consume. Well, lo and behold, about 2 weeks ago, he accidentally revealed one of his folders on stream, which contained lolicon, of course. Now, people like me and others have been complaining about Vosh for years, not because of the fictional content on his computer, but because...
I have to interrupt Rev here for a moment. This whole thing actually had like this very interesting snowball effect to it, because people that had a lot of skeletons in their closet that decided to shit on Vosh because of this whole lolicon situation, they decided to, as Rev here said, throw their hat into the ring, while having as many skeletons, if not more skeletons, in their closets, in their collective closets, as Vosh has. One of them being, funnily enough, Keffels, and Keffels here is now getting shat on because all of the, you know, Catboy Ranch, all of those grooming allegations, all of those quite accurate grooming allegations that are being circulated now. And other YouTubers like Mudahar decided to go after Keffels because of this. So it's like, you know, dogs eating dogs here. It's a whole fucking snowball effect of people shitting themselves over it and just getting into trouble because they decided to show up. And funnily enough, some people are trying to attribute, you know, Keffels' expose to Mudahar, while Kiwi Farms has been on Keffels' case for like years now. But no, Kiwi Farms bad because terrible doxing website that leads to people's suicide. Of course, all false things said about it. And yeah, people are trying to attribute Keffels' expose to Mudahar now. So yeah. It's an interesting thing that's happening just because fucking Bosch has Natsuhiro Matsuri porn in his folders. This is all of VTubers. Essentially, Hololive, while doing nothing, is bringing down the worst people on the internet. So, Hololive, thank Hololive for this. Like, Niji Sanji bad, but Hololive taking care of the worst fucking people on the internet. Fantastic. Would want to see it again.
Because he has openly defended CP on multiple occasions, however, people like Meat Canyon only pretended to care about Vosh the second they found Lolly on his computer. Now let's hear what Meat Canyon has to say about the topic of Lolicon.
More recently, after that, there was a guy named Vosh on the internet that just leaked all of his Lolicon art on his stream, and it's been a huge debate and debacle lately.
Oh yeah, fucking Ethan Klein also talked about it. I forgot to mention that. God damn. And then someone is gonna go about after Ethan Klein, I guess, because if it happened once because of fucking Hassan, it's gonna happen again because of this shit.
I wanted to do a video on this very subject because even my video recently was kind of about a Lolicon himself, and I do think that it's one of the most...
Wasn't that just about the guy who married Miku? Whatever.
Most depraved and disgusting fandoms in all of anime, and really all of media in general. So, today, I just want to be fully transparent. We're talking about Lolicons. If you don't know
that's invisible, not transparent.
What a Lolicon is, it's about guys who... they like anime.
Not just guys, like, if we're, you know, gonna be nitpicking, then let's nitpick very hard. There's so many female Lolicons. So many outers that are female that draw Lolicon. In fact, I think in my personal collection of favorite artists, I think more of them are female than actually male. So whatever, it's not just males. And this guy has very cursory knowledge about the things he's talking about, it seems.
Girls that are 8 to 10 years old and they... Pedophilia. We're talking about pedophilia today. So if you don't like that, I just want to put that right up front, just in case you don't like it. But I do think...
I don't know, man. I think pedophilia, just because you don't like it, is a little too an understated warning here. Because even to me, it seems like you're not taking this seriously enough, because pedophilia, actual pedophiles, that's a serious issue that should be discussed with due seriousness. But since you're talking about fucking cartoons here, and you're adding these funny Super Mario 64, I believe, sound effects to your video, I don't think you're taking this topic very seriously either, so...
I think it's a very fascinating, depraved, disgusting piece of the internet that I think would be lovely to talk about, because these little cockroaches are hiding in plain sight. And I think that it might be good.
I don't think any lolicon is really hiding anywhere. Even on Twitter, as people are constantly getting banned for fucking drawings, I don't think any of them are hiding anywhere.
Good to get down to, I mean, how the hell did we even get here?
So like I stated earlier, Meat Canyon talking on this subject is so beyond hypocritical when he has made multiple animations where underage characters are being sexualized. Okay, this isn't a your likes are public moment. This is a you sat down and animated underage characters being sexualized type of a moment. It goes way beyond the usual hypocrisy we see with this subject. But here's the thing, okay? He has lots of these animations, and I'm going to play a few throughout this video just to give you a taste of how ridiculous his complaints about Lolicon anime fans are, starting with this clip right here featuring characters from Demon Slayer, both of which are underage.
Oh my word, sister. You smell so good.
By the way, if you go on Twitter and look up comments that relate to Rev's video, you're gonna be finding a lot of people that are defending Meat about this because it's a joke. Can't you guys take a joke? I mean, it's not for gratification's sake. It's okay to sexualize what I think are minors, what I think are children, if it's meant for a joke. Don't you understand satire? It's good sexualization then, because, you know, it's not a gratifying thing. Then you're not supposed to get off on this. You're supposed to feel the impassioned satire and you know, irony of the whole fucking situation, because these are behaviors that aren't supposed to be condoned. These are behaviors that are supposed to be criticized. They aren't for you to get off, and that's when sexualizing minors is okay, when you make a whole fucking joke out of it.
My sweaty little princess. Oh.
Please help me.
Oh, Nezuko. I'll always be here to help you.
Someone help me. No.
I could smell you all day.
Get off me. Don't.
My sweet sister.
Leave me alone.
Smells like family.
So we're off to a pretty shaky start with Meat Canyon. That's a pretty suspicious video for someone calling Lolicons pedophiles, but it gets a lot worse, a lot more blatant. This time we're going to look at a Ben 10 parody he made, of course featuring underage characters like Gwen.
Your bones are weak, Ben. You're only a 10-year-old boy, you know that? You're just a little boy!
Yeah, well, I got a dick on me like a 40-year-old. Is that right, Gwen?
That's right, Ben. Oh, God, I knew you two were fucking... just grab his legs and let's get him into the van!
It's hero time, goddammit!
In case you're trying to keep score at home, that is...
I mean, it's pretty fucking funny, but considering his current comments, that's, you know, your videos are public moment.
Now 2 videos where he has featured incest relationships between underage characters. But here's the thing, one of the big justifications that he attacks, he claims that lolicons use this defense of, oh, well, they're 9,000 years old. If you're trying to make the same argument to defend Meat Canyon in this situation for his animations, trying to say they're aged up or they're actually older than they look, well, he kind of ruined that own defense for himself, as you can see right here.
The defense. People that like this kind of stuff are on the defense all the time. And what's interesting from even the consumers and the creators is that people justify this because you're like, oh, it looks like you're sexualizing a child. But they're like, dude, she's a 7,000-year-old dragon wizard, okay? She's older than you and I. She's older than every person ever in your family combined, okay? I mean, she has more insight and maturity than anyone. And that's like one of the big defenses, right? People and the creators being able to get around with little loopholes like that makes it feel like it justifies this very creepy act.
What do you mean fucking loopholes? You can create art of anything like that and you do not need any kind of justification for it as long as it's all fictional. People have issues with drawing things based on actual things that exist and actual real people, identifiable people, mind you. The identifiable part here is very important because, you know, normally people wouldn't have issues with meat here, you know, if he didn't create a cartoon of an actual child that exists in the real world, and people wouldn't have issues with Shadbase if he fucking didn't draw, or at least talk about drawing Kim Star's fucking child. So that's the issue that people should actually have, you know, problems with.
Which I don't know if it does. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't.
Yeah, well, I got a dick on me like a 40-year-old. Is that right, Gwen?
That's right, Ben.
So throughout his video, he time and time again says that if these characters look young, if you sexualize them in anime, you are a pedophile. And yet we've seen his Ben 10 clip, his Demon Slayer clip. Now let's check out this clip right here, featuring the Magic School Bus. Now, I don't really know what you guys think when you think about the Magic School Bus, but these are clearly students who are supposed to be young with their teacher. And in this animation, these students crawl up inside her.
Miss Frizzle, I don't want to learn about that stuff. I want to learn about wet-ass pussy. Wop, wop, wop.
Wop. We want wop. We want wop. You children want to disobey my curriculum and learn about old Miss Frizzle's sandbox, huh?
Yeah!
All right, children, fine. You've twisted my arm. Hop in the bus and let's get to learning. Whoa. This place is cold and stinky.
There's such a wide spectrum of anime, and lolicon comes from the style of anime known as lolly. First of all, lolly means a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime or manga. So the term lolly just means it's like a young-looking girl. That's where that comes from. But lolicon focuses on young female characters in suggestive and erotic content. The male equivalent of this is called shotacon. It's basically, I mean, it's just pedophilic.
Wait. I was probably spelled wrong, right? Because of course it is. Hold up.
On young female characters in suggestive and erotic content. The male equivalent of this is called shotacon.
Shoutocon. Okay, I have a complex about shouting. I'm a shoutocon. Come on, man. At least spell it right.
It's basically, I mean, it's just pedophilic anime.
You children want to disobey
Shoutocon.
my curriculum and learn about old Miss Frizzle's sandbox, huh?
So based on those animations we just watched, I would love to see someone like Meat Canyon or one of his defenders try to explain how what he's doing to those characters is somehow different than the anime fans he's labeling pedophiles because of the way those fictional characters are sexualized. I would love to see him try to explain how those things are somehow different. But anyways, he would go throughout the video and he would end it with a little mic drop, his bottom line on this entire subject.
Which here's the bottom line of this weird, depraved internet culture thing that we're talking about.
You don't even say all that much unless Rev is skipping through a lot of portions about his bullshit.
Lolicons. To me, it's as simple as this. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and walks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. I don't think that you can take your brain and...
So wait, if it looks like a child to you, but it is like a you know, a very small woman and goes to school as a teacher, teaches a classroom of children, whatever. So if it looks like a teacher and it quacks like a teacher, so it's an adult occupation as a teacher. So I guess means you can fuck it if it has a if it has an adult occupation. And believe me or not, like there have been people making these fucking arguments to avoid being called pedophiles, especially for characters like Diona for Genshin Impact. And the argument they try to use there is that because Diona works at a bar, and bars are usually, you know, for adults, and adults work there, and you know, adults work jobs. That kind of simple logic. It means that Diona is an adult, but you know, and you aren't a pedophile if you like her, because she's an adult. And believe me, people that are actually against Lolicon are making that argument, but they just really want to justify being able to jack off to Diona, while not using the Lolicon moniker here. They just want to have a logical argument to back them up on that one. Let's continue watching this weird Smurf person talk about things he doesn't understand.
And really substitute these things. There's no way to fucking take a limitless pill and be able to categorize all of the nuances of psychology that your brain is playing Jenga continuously to.
No, it's very simple. It's not real. It doesn't evoke any images of reality in my mind, and simply disconnected from that. You don't have to do any mental gymnastics to like or dislike that kind of thing. Like let's say there are things I dislike personally in art, like gore. I don't like the thematic, and I don't like you know, fictional characters or whatever getting hurt. I just don't like that stuff. It kind of makes me queasy, and I still know it's not real, but I just don't like the aesthetic of it, and I don't think much about the people that produce it because it's just fucking art. It doesn't involve any real people. It's just all make believe.
Cater to your perverted fetishes.
Well, here's the bottom line. Meat Canyon is facing some serious trouble, not just for the hypocrisy involving the previous animations we looked at, but a lot of people have been dredging up some of his older animations, including this one featuring Tom Brady and his son. Now, this is the animation from about 3 years ago. So for context, back then, ex-NFL player Tom Brady, apparently there was something out in the media where he kissed his son on the lips, and people thought that was weird. But Meat Canyon went a step further and made a full 2-minute animation of Tom Brady kissing his own son, who at the time of this video, this animation, was 12 to 13 years old. Now, this is where things get a little tricky because he is referencing a real, specific child. And in this animation, they are making out, they fall down to the ground, they're rolling around making sexual noises and remarks to one another, while onlookers like this are licking their lips. You can see it's very sexual based on the fact this video is age restricted for the sexual content. And as many others will point out, this is a serious issue. This isn't just a drawing anymore because it is referencing a specific real child. This is Shadman territory. And I don't feel comfortable even showing this clip.
As you can see here, age-restricted video based on community guidelines. And considering it was 3 years ago where rules, believe it or not, were much looser than... if YouTube bothered probably to look at it again, it would probably get him a community guidelines strike. Again, I'm not saying to do anything about that, but I'm just saying how it is. Let me evoke here another situation where Brittany Venti, again, all of her wisdom, decided to make a video about Gura, and she didn't censor toddler content because Brittany Venti is a very smart person, and she removed age restrictions from her video so, you know, children could watch it, and she got a community guideline strike for that. And, you know, I think this is worse because that what Venti showed was fictional. This is an actual video of a then real fucking child making out with his fucking father in a fucking video. And as you can see here, there's also onlookers getting off to it. So yeah, it's fine if you do that as a joke, even if you do that with referencing a real child, according to Mr. Meat Canyon over there.
I don't know how it's on YouTube, to be honest with you, and I don't know how Meat Canyon hasn't been called out for this endlessly. I can't believe this is sitting here, because he is using a real, specific child who was 12 to 13 at the time and making sexual animations, using them as a reference. That is a new territory. Like I said, that's the Shadman territory. And if you look at the definition of child porn, there is an actual reference to what Meat Canyon did. Visual depictions having created, adapted, or modified to appear that an identifiable minor is engaging in sexually explicit conduct. That includes, by many people's definition, would include what he just did by using a specific child in his sexual animation. That is way, way more serious than the hypocrisy surrounding some of his other animations where he was sexualizing underage characters. This time we have a specific real-life child being featured and used as a reference in this animation. That is a different territory, and a lot of people are comparing this to Shadman. He was run off of the internet really for two reasons, some legal reasons, but also he was morally run off the internet because he made sexualized artwork that was using Keemstar's underage daughter as a reference. Explain to me how that's different than what Meat Canyon was doing with Tom Brady's son. Explain to me how those things are different. This should be called out. This is the guy lecturing you and morally grandstanding about anime, but he's doing this and we're supposed to sit here and just accept it and give him a pass because he's the wholesome Chungus animator that everyone loves? It's ridiculous. And moving forward, there was just so much projection in this video. I'm going to get into this part right here where he talks about Dragon Maid.
Which the creators of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I love saying that, the creator of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid have never specified her age. But because she can transform into a big dragon, people just speculate that she's 7,000 years old. Even though that's just made up for their own kind of, desires to justify what they're doing. But she looks like an 8 or 9-year-old child. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid team, just come out and say something. Or, better yet, let's just not make it. Can I get an amen for that? Amen. I just want to say that out.
First of all, let me just mention that this was the fumble of the century. So he's going into an anti-Lolicon rant, right? And he brings up Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and he doesn't reference characters like Kana. He goes for Ilalu. And then the projection is off the charts. This guy looks at this large-breasted dragon character and immediately thinks of children. Again, projection. We've seen this happen a million times on places like Twitter. It's a very weird dynamic that these people have where they look at characters like this and immediately think of children. But I also noticed that Meat Canyon has an animation featuring Charlie. Now, I thought this would be a good example to give someone's pretty educated and fair take on the subject of lolicon and sexualized characters in anime in general.
And for some fucking reason, Twitter being the cesspool that it is somehow brings anime into this, talking about, well, why is cuties such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things. These are actual 11 and 12-year-old girls that are subjected to this hypersexualization in this movie that the director has forced upon them. That's very different. This is real world versus totally fucking made up, drawn characters. It's not even comparable.
So overall, this is a very disappointing situation where Meat Canyon has lost a lot of respect from people, and really, it's deserved, okay? I don't understand what compelled him to make this video, this absolutely reeking of hypocrisy group of statements about anime and lolicons, and it's really backfiring horribly, and really the controversy coming out of this, I feel like it's only just beginning for him. It's probably going to get a lot worse. as people start diving into his content. And for all of the people that he's trying to impress with this video, please go ahead and show him his other animations featuring underage characters or featuring Tom Brady's son and all of these things. Because it is absolutely ridiculous that this guy has the nerve to lecture people and brandish them pedophiles over stuff happening in anime. Meanwhile, he's doing all of this on his own volition. It's crazy, but that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to it. And as I was saying, people were defending Meat Canyon in quote retweets of Rev's video and other related tweets with the fact that this is a joke. Can't you guys take a fucking joke? Haven't you heard of satire? It's okay to sexualize minors if it's for the case of the joke. But yeah, that's another topic scratched away from the list. And I'm quite sure this is gonna get much worse because it always escalates on fucking social media. It almost never goes away. And the snowball effect is still there. People are are talking about all kinds of creators that decide to dunk on Vosh. Just everyone going after one another. And it's a sight to behold. All because Vosh decided to have good taste in porn, I guess. Because those were very good Matsuri drawings, by the way. Very good artists too. Okay, let's move on to the next one because we have just a little a few topics to go still. Let's see, what should we tackle next here? Because I saved the last one for the best, and that's gonna be the idol situation. Because it's so out there. So the next one is Mr. Washed Up Lawyer and his involvement in drama. But before we get to that, we have a couple of series of tweets to read here. Here's one of the videos we're going to be watching. Here's Sparky's Tech Corner commenting on a video where Nick talks about VTuber drama and his very cool and collected opinions about Japan. Context: Nick is still an ass mad about Pippa telling him to shove it. Also, the whiskey brain rot with the steak is torted. Nobody wants you in the VTuber community, tourist. Why Nick hates covering VTuber drama and Japan's Nazi culture of cuteness. And in case you don't know what this whole thing is actually about, here's Hirsche coming in to give you a quick rundown about how Nick Rekieda, your friendly neighborhood drunk lawyer, is related to VTubers. So he's the QRD. Nick wants Pippa on his show ages ago. Fishman says no. Fast forward. Pippa goes on Camelot, friend of Nick. Camelot uses this to create drama and grift, claiming he's met her. Knows what she looks like because she sent him pictures. She didn't. He replies to her tweets with jokes about how they have a date. All of this is still in her VODs on her Twitter. It hasn't been deleted. He isn't getting the attention he wants, so he ups the ante. Posts a picture and says totally not Pippa is at his house, which she has to clarify it's not her. People commenting on Camelot's post angry. He makes fun of them because he did it on purpose to generate drama and doesn't care. Had a collab with Camelot lined up that I cancelled after all of this. Cam issues an apology, in quotation marks, that calls Face gay. Cam gets Lumi banned on Twitter because she made a joke about killing him. She just outright said, let's kill him, or something similar to that. Cam and Nick grift of this drama by having multiple streams or segments in large collab streams, about how VTuber fans are all lonely men and pedophiles. How a bad company phases, and how people definitely can't take a joke. It was a joke, you guys. Haha, you guys can't take a joke. Damn, Cam is such a victim. Oh no. Someone supers Pippa about the drama. She says bullet dodged in reference to Fish saying no to the Nick collab. Cam is still, to this day, making weird posts about Pippa, and Nick has adopted some kind of seeding towards anime due to burning all his bridges with anyone who was willing to speak with him on the side of the aisle. And here's Kirsha talking about it some more. It's true, I am a deep cover Nazi state agent design AI created in 1935 and folded over 1,000 times at the base of Mount Fuji. Employed by a Japanese government to psyop men into wanting to protect cute things and the woman to follow in my footsteps. And then we're gonna watch the video of Rekiera commenting on it because it's another sight to behold. And if you know anything about Nick Rekiera, how he actually used to look in the past, you'll see quite the difference between what he was like even like a year ago and what he looks like now. Looks very tired, very emaciated, again, very I was to a concentration camp as an inmate sort of look to him. So let's take a look what Nick the bottle Rekiera had to say about it.
Some people have asked me to cover the VTuber drama between Doji. I don't know how to pronounce this shit. The VTuber like drama going on. It's like two companies or something. I literally don't know. Some people have asked me to cover it. I'm like, but they're like cartoons. Like it's weird. Doki Bird, and Selen, or Nijisanji, whatever is going on with the VTubers. I thought about covering it. I have not done so yet. Look, I don't like covering the VTuber community because when I do, I say things that make them mad. Like I say, it's kind of weird. Like power to the VTubers or whatever, but it's kind of weird the people who like throw shitloads of money at them. And I'm like, I don't always get it. I might call them cretins or animals or monsters or maybe criminals. I don't know. I say lots of stuff about lots of people, but I say lots of bad stuff about them. And I don't always like know if each individual VTuber fan is a bad person. But I know that like lawyers, and yes, I know what this means. All the lawyers get the rope at the end of the day. All of them. That's the only way society exists. And I have to accept my place on the family tree, so to speak. I say the same about VTuber fans. I know you might be the one who's not terrible. But just for the sake of a...
You know what? I think I know what he's starting to look like. Have any of you ever played the game Disco Elysium? He's starting to look like the main character of that game, Harry Dubois, a detective character in that game, which, funnily enough, also has a fucking drinking problem and is a weird degenerate as well. It doesn't matter how you play him, but he's really starting to look like Harry Dubois from Disco Elysium. It's so uncanny.
Obliterating the problem. You got to go too, fam. Into the wood chipper, my friend. Journey solidly into Elysium. CGI Ranger says, all the examples I've seen on Mindset streams are mainly girls who scream and act like children. Yes. Just because they're behind a cartoon character, somehow they get money for that. All right. So actually, I was reading an article about this. And I clicked on the article because the headline was so fucking compelling. It's basically how Nazis, because it's always back to the Nazis, created a cultural phenomenon and then Japan capitalized on it. And the idea behind this is that there's literally a psychological imperative for people to protect and preserve cuteness. Think about this. It's really, really interesting when you consider Japan, how broken it is.
You heard it right here. If you have a desire, if it's in you to protect cute things, you might be a fucking Nazi. It's not that it's biologically imprinted in us to protect things that look innocent to us because at that point we would be protecting our own children, you know, for preservation effect. You know, it's not biologically determinant. It's Nazis that made it up. It's not just how evolution shaped us in order for us to protect our fucking children from danger. No, it's a Nazi psyop.
And when you consider Nazis, and I don't see what this has to do with Nazis, but apparently the Nazis created this.
Nick, I don't know how fucking old you are. I'm guessing you're in your 40s, but this is how children think. You really think that's the reason people like cute things? People are fucking serious.
Value of cuteness and utilize it in their propaganda. I guess I'm not super familiar with that. Maybe someone can verify it. That was a throwaway line for me, but it was how Japan made it into this industry and its own identity. And when you look at Japan and you look at things like anime, maid cafes, butler cafes. I don't know if you guys are aware of maid cafes and butler cafes, but they're these places where all of the at a maid cafe, all of the women are, or all of the servers are women. They wear these little.
I mean, it's a maid cafe, not a butler cafe. What else would they be?
Cutesy maid outfits, like think of the French maid, but animated but real. And then
animated but real.
They all are.
You know how maids are in real life, but they're also in anime. So so like in anime but real.
Quote unquote perpetually 18. No matter how old they are, they always have to look 18. They always have to act
because it's a joke. It's a trope in anime. There's a trope in anime called the Ever 17. It's used for humorous purposes. Usually, all their anime characters, all their women in anime use this line. I'm 17, despite being much older than that. It's just a trope, my dude.
18. I guess they say like Momo-kun, and that's like how you bless the food with your heart, some bullshit like that. It's this really, really weird culture of these guys and women going into these cafes to be attended to by overly infantilized to the minimum age of consent waitresses.
Overly infantilized to the minimum age of consent. You heard it here first. The behavior of consent. We've been through the height of consent. We've been through the hairstyle of consent. We've been through the skin color of consent. We've been through the age gap of consent. But here you have it first from Rekieta Law, prominent YouTube lawyer, Nick Rekieta, telling you about the behavior of consent. Never heard that. That's a first for me.
And some of these waitresses are 30, 35, 40 years old, but they look
infantilized behavior to the limit of Jesus. How did he say it again? Jesus Christ. I need this again. It's so stupid.
To these cafes to be attended to by overly infantilized to the minimum
age of consent.
Waitresses. And some of these waitresses are 30, 35, 40 years old, but they look really young. They put on makeup to stay young. They stay in shape. And they're not naked.
Unlike you, Nick.
Naked or anything. They're almost conservatively dressed. It's not like skimpy maid uniforms. They have skirts that are a little short, but not too short. And they have, their tops aren't like super cleavagey, but they act like fucking. They act like impossible to deal with people as a profession.
It's a joke, Nick. It's just role play. It's nothing more serious than that. You're overthinking it to the point you're making yourself look stupid despite being drunk.
And the butler cafes are different. The butler cafes, but the same. The butler cafes are supposed to all be young men, right? Who
not always. There's specific cafes that, again, when it comes to theming of cafes in Japan, there's all kinds for all kinds of tastes. There's ones that's gonna have like tsundere maids. There's one they're gonna have tomboy maids, and on the other side of the spectrum, you have the male butler cafes. You're gonna have older males in there, like themed after like I seen them themed after like office CEO workers. I've seen them themed after fucking bodybuilders, like bodybuilder, butler cafe. There's cafes for all kinds of things in Japan. It just all depends on the current theming and what kind of show they want to put on for people that come into there. And people don't go there for food because the food is usually overpriced and not very good. They're there for the show.
Are butlers servicing their queen, and they're for these women to go to and be treated like royalty from some butlers way too young for.
You know, I may be an old person too, but I didn't lose my common sense at the bottom of the bottle somehow. And I come very easily to logical common sense conclusions. So why can't Nick Rekieta come to the same ones? Like, how don't you see that this is all just for play and it's not as serious as it is? Because when you go to a show, you're there to be entertained. I mean, doesn't necessarily say much about you other than, you know, you like very specific tropes in like anime and weird popular niche culture, but other than that, it's not that serious. So what's Nick Rekieta's problem here? I have this maybe wrong impression of lawyers, but I used to think, at least before I seen YouTube lawyers, that is, that lawyers at least have some, you know, basic wisdom, knowledge about the world, like things that could have logic applied to them, things that would be more like easier to understand for the common person than any other person, that kind of thing. So at what point do you have to slip so much, have this kind of mindset? I don't know. Is it the alcohol, or is Nick Rekieta just a dumbass? I don't know. Could be both, and both of these things combined result in, I guess, something like what we're watching right now.
Them, but is like locked in a relationship of choice, employment, power disparity, because of course, because women created these, where the butlers are young and handsome and at the service of this royalty who's so far above them that they'll do anything, including serenade them, love on them, treat them with respect and dignity that they can't get at home because they can't actually marry Japanese men because Japanese men trying to marry cartoons. So
yeah, that's why Japanese birth rate is declining, Nick. But he's like taking all things that he heard about Japan from like hearsay, like down the grapevine, and just amalgamating them in his mind to formulate this weird this weird expression of Japan that he tries to project onto his audience. And I wonder how his audience is dealing with that. I don't see his fucking chat any place in there, but I do hope they're clowning on him and do not actually believe his shit. But then again, I've seen so many stupid streamer chats that I do believe that some of them may actually take him seriously right now.
You have this culture of cuteness, though. And what they found is when humans are presented with something that is cute, they automatically want to care for it. It's some sort of psychosocial response to like raising babies and children. Like you don't just care about your own children. You care about the concept of infancy and preserving it and providing for it. Like if there's some sort of spare baby lying around, like in a Detroit neighborhood, so to speak, like someone want to take care of it because they're tiny things that are innocent and cute, and you want to preserve that. Although I'm pretty sure in Detroit, babies are selling crack in like 6 months. So like they're a little
okay, at least I know that one's a joke.
Little advanced They can do math really quick without a calculator. It's the only place that beats the Asians. But you get the idea. Same with like puppies and kittens. Like people see puppies and kittens, their hearts fucking melt and their minds divorced from the reality of owning these little fucking monsters that run around and just ruin your house. You're like, but look at their little fur ball. It's so funny. Look at this little pug. Its eyes are in different counties. That's hilarious. Like, it's not hilarious. Things irritating. All of these goddamn things are irritating. They tear shit up. They eat shit. They shit all over stuff. You can try and train them all day. They'll just stand up on your counter and shove a glass off of it right onto like a kid.
Yeah, but they're still cute despite that. That's why people like them so much.
Or whatever. They're monsters. These are literal creatures. I'm like, but they're adorable. Oh yeah. Great. So are tigers and baby alligators. They fucking kill you when they grow up. Anyway, as we get into this, Japan's created an entire culture on cuteness, an economic culture of cuteness, from chibi anime to just slice of life cutesy anime to weird lolly shit to VTubers who act infantilized. This is where we were going with this. This is a big roundabout thing. Sorry. Not really. Sorry at all. They act infantilized. They look infantilized. They play these cartoon characters that are infantilized and retarded. And if you ever talked to a person who acted like a VTuber in person, like imagine you go to a fucking Starbucks.
I visit the United States very often, and for all of you fucking Americans in the audience, most of the time I think like I'm going to the theater whenever I visit the United States, because to me, all of you act like stage play characters or characters on television. Like it's all a big fucking show, and I rarely see people that act normal in the United States. I really have to look very hard to find someone that I consider normal in the United States. Like wherever other place I visit, or even where I live, I consider this my normal, and people, you know, go about their day, not really making a show out of themselves. But whenever I go to the United States, it's always like that. Like, wow, these people all act retarded, and they're here for my amusement. Amazing. But yeah, that's what I see in the United States, Nick, and you're one of these people too.
And who comes up to you as a VTuber, and you're like, I want a grande, I don't know what the fuck they call venti. I want a large caramel macchiato or whatever. And what answers you back is a VTuber screaming at you about something at the highest energy ever. You would pull out a shotgun. You'd point at the VTuber and go, no, you're not the problem. I am. And then you'd put it in your own mouth like Kurt Cobain. You'd pull the trigger. It would be the most insufferable person of your entire life. But when they're divorced from that reality of interaction from you by a screen, what people do instead, because they can't point a shotgun at the VTuber or themselves, instead they just donate. Buy.
How does that make sense? Instead of wanting to kill yourself because you find someone annoying, you rather donate to the person that you find annoying? I don't understand the logical course of thinking here that he's trying to explain to his audience. But then again, I do also have to consider that he's more than likely drunk, and I think it makes sense to him in his mind. But to me, this is kind of nonsensical.
I have to care for this retarded person spurging out on the internet because what will happen to them if I don't? I don't even know. Oh my God, they're so funny. They're the best entertainers ever. Oh, they really aren't, though. They really aren't. There's literally a psychological trick making you want to give them money. And the funny thing is, people will never realize this. They never, ever will realize this. They'll say, no. VTubers are actually the best entertainers. They're really good. That's why people give them money. It's not because they're infantilized and they're cute.
You know, giving the benefit of the doubt to VTubers fans out there, I think it's enough for a thing to be cute in order to donate to it. I like to think that most people are self-aware enough to realize that, you know, they're donating to someone just because they have like one particular characteristic about them or more that they like. and it's again not that fucking deep. But then again, I deal with people that think this is a little bit too deep, and I cover them constantly. But I also like to think that these people are in the minority, and they just you know, are the fringe examples of that kind of behavior. So again, Nick is trying to paint a whole group of people like that for being naive. And I'd really like to give VTuber fans in general a bigger benefit of the doubt than
Like, it just, my brain demands that I pay them. Nah, bro, it's like you're victim to marketing, refined marketing, straight from the Nazis all the way to the Japos. After they got nuked into oblivion, they came back and nuked us all financially. Here, buy my infant stuff.
Holy fuck.
Protect.
Sorry, I had to pause for the super chat. Super Iron Ball, thank you for the 5. Spite donation prompted to fight this clip. Oh, thank you very much. At least you're not donating to me because of a psychological trick, or you think I'm cute, because then I would call you gay, because I assume you're a male. So don't be gay and don't donate to me. And don't donate to Nick Raketa either. Just go donate to VTuber.
Did preserve it, as we could not protect the shadows left on our walls of our children. But there you go. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Fret Pounds is what's the address on this maid cafe. They're apparently all over Japan. The only maid cafe experience I had, when Lady Raggets and I, it was a couple Anime Matsuris ago, we went to both the maid cafe and the butler cafe, and they had brought like two of the like really good teams of them over, and I sat there and I was like, the fuck is this? Like, what is, I don't want this. I thought this was going to be way different. I thought this was going to be like sexy. No, it wasn't. It wasn't sexy. It was very disturbing.
See, someone mentioned Fuwamoko in the chat. Like, Fuwamoko, they only need to do one thing to be entertaining. They just need to bow and act cute. Like, it comes to them very naturally. If there's a duo of VTubers, if there's a unit of VTubers that has mastered the art of being cute, it's Fuwamoko. They're amazing at it. Like, people should take notes on how to be cute. But then again, I don't think you can emulate that kind of cuteness other than, you know, it being natural to them, because I think they just do it because they have those sorts of personalities and their voices match their characters like perfectly as well. So again, you just have to have one specific thing sometimes as a VTuber in order to be successful. And I'm not diminishing the other skills of Fuwamoko, the duo, because they have other, you know, talents that are noteworthy. But still, the cuteness is something they have mastered, and you know, it works out for them, and people should take note. So let's continue what else he has to say. We're almost at the end of this video anyway.
Very disturbing. So I'm I don't want to talk about the VTuber stuff too much because of that. My prejudice against VTubing in general. And again, it's not the VTubers. Like, go get it. Get your money. Like, sell all of that. If I could do that, I would. Rather, I have a problem with like what is happening to the community in the same way I don't really like ASMR streams and shit like that. It's like, it's not ASMR. It's a chick in a bra whispering. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, just call it chick in a bra whispering and I'm with you. Like, go throw money at her. Fine. Like, no, I just like the audio. No,
I mean, I don't think you can just reduce ASMR, even though I don't really listen to much of that, to like a sexual thing, if that's what he's attempting to do, because ASMR is much more than that. It's usually all kinds of sounds that appeal to people, like on a basic human, almost instinctual level, you know, that people find pleasant. A lot of ASMR, I'm not saying like the vast majority of it, because that wouldn't be true. Like, there is a lot of it that's of sexual nature, sure, but there's a lot of it that's also not. But you know, again, Nick, he likes to generalize a lot. That's why he came to the conclusion that Japan has nuked the Western world with cuteness in an economical way.
Jesus Christ. Sure, we believe you. All right. Why am I talking about this? I don't even. Someone brought it up. Doesn't matter.
As Pippa said, bullet dodged. A whole machine gun fucking spray of bullets dodged here. So yeah, that's the tale of the washed up lawyer. Does he even actually do anything that has to deal with his profession nowadays, or is this all drunk commentary streams about things he doesn't properly understand while being drunk? Is that the content nowadays? I guess it is. But yeah, Nick that aside, we still have we still have 2 more things to look through, and these things are fucking insane. So I kind of saved the best for last to speak. So what are we going to be talking about at the end of the stream? Well, we're going to be talking about the VTuber agency Idol. In case you don't know them, Israel-based VTuber agency has a lot of interesting talents on board. There's also a company of people of power, as they call them, that have unfortunately struck my channel because I played one of their membership videos of Riroron taking drugs and soliciting her viewers. They didn't like that very much, so I'm kind of on a leash for the next. Let me check real quick, because we're gonna have like a celebration stream whenever my strike is over. My strike is gonna be over in exactly 6 days, so we can have a celebration stream next Saturday, as I'm released from obligations of being careful around words that have to deal with that specific company. But yeah, Idol here has gotten into a little bit of trouble because one of their VTubers decided to change directions with her content. And if you watch Yuko Yurei, the cute ghost lolly VTuber, she's been away for a while, and in one of her more recent streams, she has explained that she suffered from a lot of burnout. But more importantly, she explained that she didn't like the direction she was taking her content in. And by that, she meant that she didn't like all of that GFE stuff, all of that girlfriend experience stuff, and was a lot of what people would consider Coomer bait, I guess. It was kind of out there. Not my kind of thing, but you know, there were a lot of people that were into that, and they were extremely into that, as you're gonna see in a moment, as a lot of people got angry about that announcement. But you also have to consider that she also announced during that stream that a lot of that stuff, which mostly I think is membership locked, is gonna disappear because she doesn't like that anymore. So as you can understand, some people may feel betrayed by that, but also if you're a member of hers, you can always download that, I guess. I mean, the experiences you had with her during that those very intimate streams, they don't really go away, do they? Unless you think you had some kind of other relationship with your favorite VTuber Oshi. I don't know. But a lot of people got incredibly angry about that upon Yuko Yurei saying that she wants to take her content into a completely brand new direction. She mentioned she wants to do more vlogging, just, you know, generally talk about things that interest her instead of focusing on this one particular thing, in order to avoid further getting burned out. Because it's very much possible to get burned out if you continue to do the same thing over and over again, especially if you didn't like doing that kind of thing in the first place. But let's take a look at some of the reactions that some very, very unreasonable people had. So here's Yuko Yurei announcing her first vlog. My first vlog premieres in 5 minutes. And here's a former Yuko Yurei fan account, which has since renamed himself into Yuko Yurei is a bad person. But before that, his handle was at I love Yuko Yurei. So it's that's kind of a change in direction for them too. So let's see what they had to say. You're a pretty bad person, Yuko. I'm still the same Yuko. Yeah, okay. You lied to us and abused us. I hope karma catches up with you one day. What happened? Given all this pushback, I'm nervous to even look at the announcement stream VOD. She basically didn't apologize for ghosting at all and is dropping GFE and deleting all of her old date votes. She said she wasn't happy and she lied about loving her fans the entire time. And there was more of that, in case you don't know what this person's account looks like. I think what they were on about is very telling, based on this on this Blade Runner profile image with Yuka Yurei in a jar. I think it's kind of self-explanatory there. And they renamed themselves to Yuka Yurei is a bad person. And left this description. Abandoning this account, got lied to and abused for over a year by this terrible human being. She emotionally manipulated her community for clout. And, people didn't take kindly to what this person was saying, and there was this back and forth which was initiated here. Fiona, this is why I hate GFEs, because retards like this appear and then go mad when the streamer actually doesn't enjoy it. You stupid cunt. She encouraged it for an entire year and asked people to be parasocial for her and told us she wanted us to love her romantically hundreds of times. Stay in your lane, bitch. I mean, you really have to consider where the act ends and where the real person begins, because if you really thought that a VTuber loves you because she loves you, then to cite a very popular, used to be popular Chinese VTuber, Artia, do you really believe it? When a VTuber tells you that she loves you, that she actually loves you? Do you really believe that? Are you so naive to think that? I think the problem lies with you. And the other one is probably that you play into it a little bit too much. Again, this distance between internet personalities and fans should be apparent to a lot of people. Because, again, you're only there for the entertainment. If you really start to think that they love you, then what else can I tell you? I mean, what you can blame on her here is that the announcement is kind of abrupt, because it kind of came out of nowhere, but, this level of a reaction isn't right either. So, it's kind of insane. But then again, cutting that arm off that has begun to rot is probably the best way to do that, because if these people actually realized that she was changing direction, she was doing it slowly, then I think they would still throw this fit as they were doing right now. But there's more of that, because this conversation continued. Fiona, go outside, touch some grass. Seems like you are fucking pathetic. Maybe, but not as pathetic as a rubbernecking drama grifters like you. Fiona, you're the one making yourself look like a clown. I'm just here to laugh at you. Again, in case you remember what his account looked like. And then they proceeded to retweet all of Yuko Yurei's now former fans being mad at this. I still would have followed and support you if you had just been forward and honest with us a while ago. You treated it like a joke and couldn't even address it properly or acknowledging how we felt. It wasn't even what I had us confused and I hurt in the first place. Goodbye, Yuko. Goodbye. Goodbye. I mean, I guess it's fair that they announced the announcing they're leaving, even though they don't really have to. But I do wonder how many people actually left because they're not getting this type of content anymore. I mean, there were few of those, as this now hate account, I guess, is retweeting all of these people. Bye, Felicia. Don't let this, in quotation marks, announcement take you down, boo bro. That's what Yukiyure calls her fandom, by the way, boo bros. The memories we all had as a community will never be taken away. And again, you are all the best. You're all supported and waited for her until the very end. Don't let those memories be taken away until the next time, boo bros. I hope your new boo bros can support you as much as the old ones. You'll be needing a new fan base name. Boo bros were deleted. That would make for 3 fan bases now. So upset. And here is her announcement after the stream dropped. Holy, thank you all for your continued support. I'm so excited to start this new chapter of content creation. I was a little nervous at first, but it made me so happy to see the response about my change in direction. Here's to more fun, entertaining content. The ultimate grifter. She betrayed the fans that made her, deleted all the content she has done for them. On top of that, expects this support. Yuko shouldn't be allowed to be part of VTubing as a whole. This is by far most jarring individual action I've seen. Gross. You know, I'm just not gonna say that, but or maybe I should say that. But in case most of these people were playing into, you know, the romantic aspect of all of this, again, all role play. You took it seriously. If you knew things about Yuko Yurei that I do and a lot of other people do, you'd know that she's not available, and that's the only thing I'm gonna mention here. This cute thing here is not available to you guys. I'm sorry. It's just not there. She's not there for you guys. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But there's more comments here. The complete deletion of most membership content was something. I understand your pain. I avoided this bullet because I was a casual watcher and never remembered to her. But I wanted to start watching her regularly, and then I got hit with this announcement. Like, this dude didn't even watch her, and he says that, you know, she shouldn't be in the VTuber community. I was actually ecstatic for a moment when she said she's back to regular streaming and was eager to hop on the ride, but got hit but the other shit. My rat, Pippa sold the same vlogging nature thing. It's possible they may both be planning to graduate and form an indie corpo or similar. In both cases, it has nothing to do with VTubing, and this Yuko pulled is exploitative, cynical, and just plain morally wrong. It's hoping whatever remains of her fan base sobers up and drops her. This was the event horizon for her. It says volumes about her character and what kind of person she is. And we need to gatekeep VTubing for people like that. I don't know who this guy is, but he seems to be on his way to becoming one of these exceptional very dedicated VTuber aunties like Henry and Chase were. Again, Henry's probably fucking dead, but the arguments this guy is using here, outlandish rats, all are indicative of someone slowly losing their minds because of a VTuber. That's so fucking funny. She took our trust, held it in her hands, and crushed it with her remorse, without remorse. And there's more. Are you fucking mental? She just says she wants to change up her content. How fucking schizophrenic are you? Unless you can make a logical argument against mine and my explanation of her actions, don't bother writing anything. I don't care about memes and / or whatever other buzzwords you assume are a gotcha. They mean nothing. Okay, so what should I explain to you? That it's her channel, her content, and that she can do whatever the fuck she wants with it? That she owes you nothing? That if you're her fan, you'd respect and support her decision? Or is there more? You could explain your reasoning as to how throwing her audience under the bus, but keeping the sub count is in any way moral. She's exploiting her position, which is now unearned, and that was built up by the discarded fan base. Amoral grifting, betrayal, unjustifiably cynical. Is this Henry's fucking alt account? He's really starting to sound like Henry here, just a little bit. Henry used to speak like that in a very similar fashion. They lead simple as you can be toxic as much as you want, you can be angry as much as you want. Nothing will change. I want her decision, and her only. People that want to support the person, not the content, will stay. This will show what Boo Bros values are. Within 2 weeks, all of Yes, Queen Slay people will leave. I've seen it happen multiple times. There's no ambiguity whatsoever. We'll see about that. And one more quote retweet. All could have been resolved well if the change came gradually with a more professional decision making and clear communication. Everything was so abrupt that just translates to the fact that all was a lie and nothing really mattered except for the money. I mean, the first part of this message is right. If they were eased into it, maybe they wouldn't have acted this way. But then again, I've seen unicorns act terrible beforehand, so I would presume that they wouldn't take it in a very good way either way. So who knows? The band-aid has been ripped off and the wound is bleeding. So how is Yuko's career gonna shape up from this point onward? We'll just have to wait and see if she actually lost the attention that she had beforehand, and it's because she decided to change directions of her content. Who the fuck knows? But that's the first idol drama. And lastly, we have the most unhinged one for the night, and that's the fact that, you know, Idol is based in Israel, and people had issues with that because, you know, current conflict. Of course, you have to blame the Jews for that. These people do not know what kind of arguments they share with a specific group that likes to hail the swastika. So this all started with this thread of a minor, mind you. This is a child that decided to play an internet activist going after Idol. With this, 2 VTuber fans going on strike this week. Hashtag VTuber, hashtag Free Palestine. And in case you don't know what this fucking strike is about, how this is gonna lead to a ceasefire between the Gaza Strip Palestinians and the country of Israel, is that the VTuber watchers are gonna stop watching VTubers that quote unquote support Israel or have anything to do with Israel. That's their brilliant plan to free Palestine. That's what they're gonna do. And yeah, and this person, being the very smart individual here, is just gonna point out that Idol is based in Israel, and then went on a huge fucking rant and got called out for it. And there's more to that. You're a minor. Stop participating in the discussion of ongoing wars. Get off social media and try to enjoy your youth. I assure you, it does end. 75 plus years and it hasn't ended. And I don't know what you're yapping about. True, but ruining some people's lives because they were coincidentally Israeli by location is terrible. Israelis have ruined thousands upon thousands of Palestinian lives just by illegally settling there. Try harder. So you're saying that guilt by association is right? Because that would make every Palestinian guilty of crimes committed by Hamas. Invalidating your argument, please at least try to think about what you're writing. I'm not in the VTuber community, but just because it's based in Israel doesn't mean it's instantly Zionist unless they are, and I'm just wrong. You're free to think that or otherwise. It's not like I knew much about them initially. Anyways, I just used to like Rin Penrose. Yes, there's the thing with your sentences structure, idiot. I never mentioned that the livers support Israel, nor do I even know if they do. I was talking about the keyword, the agency itself, FGS. Which to me sounds like a slur. Please touch grass. You only care when it's the Nijisanji mismanaged controversy. Maybe you touch grass. You can care about Palestinians who don't exist. They rat in front of your blue screen every day. I didn't know Zionists had a filter that mutes out innocent Palestinians, because anything that is beyond Zionism. These people like to use words they learned like in the recent 2 weeks and just, regurgitate them endlessly. I doubt they actually know what it means to be a Zionist to begin with. It's just garbled text for your dyslexic ass to not be able to comprehend because you only care about anime VR boobas girls. Well, now I am offended because I have dyslexia. How dare you be ableist? I'm upset. That's right, I only care about anime girls, and since I live in Russia, the only thing that helps me get my mind off all the shit in the world, including the Palestinians who brutally murdered Israelis in November. Oh yeah, that needs to be kept quiet. Try, as they got blocked by this miner. Oh my god, I'm a VTuber fan. I'm just learned that one of my comfort VTubers is affiliated with this agency. I thought she was independent. What the fuck? Again, this is brought to you by Palestinian watermelon and Palestinian flag people. The best identifier of terminally online people nowadays. It used to be the Ukrainian flag, but that's not trendy anymore. Even though that war is still going on, and it's not going very well. Even though the agency was a good one until not IG. I guess I'm gonna be watching Hololive forever. At least they're not Zionist, and besides they have Mayoshi. These people are, as Zoomer says nowadays, very unserious. What the fuck? I just stopped binging Rin on YouTube Shorts. I made a thread in the quotes containing a bit of information about this if you'd like. I saw. Let's see what's their fantastic thread with information. A mini thread of some information found regarding this Israeli agency. By doing Google searches, going to wiki fandom websites. The VTube profile of the agency states that the origin of the agency stems from Israel. Please click on this image. Holy shit! Holy shit, Batman! They discovered their secret. The best kept hidden secret of the VTuber world, that Idol is based in Israel. Look at those fucking arrows, chat. Like, look at that. Look how hidden that was. Like, you wouldn't really know, right? The full image had to crop previous image for pointing out nationality and location. And in case you didn't know, take a look here. Like here. VTuber agency, Idol. It's all connected. It's all connected to Israel. Slightly unrelated, but they sponsored Kyo, a VTuber news channel, in 2022. Trivia also points out that the channel is of Israeli origin. Holy shit. Discovery. More proof the agency launched their first branch debut as Idol HE, short for Idol Hebrew. Description clearly describes this agency as the first VTuber agency in Israel. Holy shit. It's like he discovered like the Hitler's hidden treasure, but Jewish. That's about it. Since the agency isn't too popular, but I hope that we could hold a decision on boycotting the agency. Quick, internet, tell me what to think. We need to think collectively and boycott this evil Israeli agency. This is what kids do online nowadays. They play online activists, and I don't know. I think this is actually, any goodwill for this kind of activism is spent because these people act this way and no one wants to take this shit seriously anymore because they act this way. Because their favorite VTuber happens to be from a VTuber agency based in Israel. That's about it, since the agency is too popular, and that hurts. That's caving. That's very hurtful to them. By the way, shout out to that random person who told me a little about this that got me stuck thinking about this until now. They were really, those gears were really grinding in their head. They did so much fantastic research with one Google result that they managed to find out that fucking idol is based in Israel. Israel is all aware Palestinians what they do to Palestinians. Let's not act as if the people don't know what goes on. They lived and still live there. They are part of the problem. The fact that it's even Israel, that the fact that it is even Israeli is bad. Seems like an open and shut case. Okay. Again, I was saying at the beginning that these people are gonna be unironically parroting neo-Nazi fucking rhetoric, and this is where it fucking starts. And this fucking person's name is White B 155. White B. Well, what would that mean? So I should stop watching them altogether? General question. Quick! Internet, please tell me what to think. I need to be on with the current political alignment. Otherwise, it's a social faux pas. Quick, tell me what to think. Bro, it's an entertainment company. They didn't fight and oppress those Palestinians. There's a good chance that the Majid was drafted into the IDF and at some point compulsory military service. Yes, because you know, you can really avoid that and risk going to fucking jail. Because you know, they're evil if they were drafted into the IDF against their fucking will. Well, I mean, you had a point in there, and yes, there's a chance, but that doesn't mean dragging this entire crisis to every sector from food, entertainment, music, and transportation. These people aren't real. These fucking watermelon fucking emoji icons. Oh, I see, guys, you only care about your favorite VTuber agency is getting cancelled over possible connections to a genocidal state. The only humans you see behind the screen... Holy shit, my music wasn't up. Now it's up. Sorry about that. The only humans you see behind the screen are the ones with the cute anime models and not actual humans who are being unalive for their identity. Sure. How dare you care about your comfort? People are dying. Didn't you know people are dying all around the world? And you care about living your life, you motherfucker. How dare you? I remember this company cause during Israelis' aggressions back in February 2022, they ran multiple YouTube ads. So many, in fact, that I had to block ads from them multiple times. Yeah, get this shit out of my face, VTubers. I don't know what this means in Yiddish. Get this shit out of my face. Tell me at Twitter. And you know, without context, that's really anti-Semitic. Get this shit out of my face. Holy fuck. A lot of mutalos follow VTubers from this company. Please read this. Hashtag Free Palestine. Shit, you're right. Thank you for the heads up. I totally forgot Idol was based there. Can't like this anymore. Green Penrose, we need to get you out of there. Just unfollowed Rin. Please see this. Mind you, all watermelon fucking emojis. I like fruit, but I'm starting to hate one in particular because of this. So many fucking watermelons, chan. I always advocate for avoiding watching anything with idle talents until they move their office out of occupied land. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They have an agency in occupied land, and they couldn't make it anyplace else because you know, when you're a citizen of a country, of one particular country, it's so easy I state it's so fucking easy to move to another country and start a business there without being a citizen of that country. It's so fucking easy. You just have to move from Israel and start your agency elsewhere. You know, free Palestine, free it from the oppressive VTuber agency. Again, some of these people sound like they aren't real. But there's more of that if you thought that was the end of it. I feel bad for the talents, but this is the reason I don't support Idol and recommend you not to support them. Remember, it's not really do military service for 2 years, terrorizing Watermelon, are committing genocide, supporting these companies, directly giving money to the entity because the Israeli company can completely avoid paying taxes. They can just say, no, Israel, you support the genocide of Palestinians. I will not pay taxes. I will go to jail. And that's going to be the end of the story. Idol fans who weren't aware of this, go unsubscribe and unfollow. Hashtag ceasefire now. Like, imagine fucking being an activist for a ceasefire with, Israel and Palestine, and this is the shit you see in the hashtag. These are advocates for your shit. And as VTubers should be speaking up more about this for our fans. Watermelon. VTuber Moods, please be aware Idol Corp is an Israel-based agency. Do you not purchase merch, donate, or engage with streamers affiliated with this agency? Fucking getting unpersoned here. I was warned about this company last year when I started being vocal about Palestine. This is a VTuber talking about this, and this is another. We just can't have nice things. Talking about Israel. Can't just have nice things. Idol Corp is an Israeli company and the CEO is a raging Zionist, and now they're just making shit up, by the way. Do with this information what you will. I did. Here's a communist VTuber I used to talk about. This is one of the dudes that like genuinely wanted me dead. And here's them making fucking death threats on Twitter, because why the fuck not? A good communist has to have some violent thoughts every second of their life, otherwise they're sick. The only valid answer to them: check your mailbox. There's a pipe bomb attached. Very cute, by the way. And by the way, Cthulhu, crayon eating VTuber. The only time this person is relevant in any sort of way is ridiculous fucking drama. Take a look at this shit. They're just based in Israel, but that's not the problem. If it's a problem for companies on the BDS list to be based there, how is it not for this company, but also based on stolen land? If you remain on their land, you're still hurting them. You're complicit for your benefit. And this is a great summary of what has been going on Twitter recently. If you've seen this, you've seen this, but people have been drawing Miku eating a watermelon with the Palestinian flag saying Free Palestine. And this person summarized this in the best way possible. Saw this exchange on here earlier. Miku said Free Palestine. No, she didn't. People are dying! Congratulations, Twitter. You made online activism and stopping genocide actually fucking gay. Congratulations, you made a good cause which would never be solved on the internet anyway into something gay. I don't understand the watermelon being added. I don't either, but it makes it funnier when they give the character darker skin. Girl, why the fuck is so much shit owned by is not real? What the hell is their problem? Chat, hereby I would have to say I did a little bit of research on this person. This Nevra BHM person. and I found their picture online, and I have to show it. It's a huge revelation. You would never guess who it actually is. Can you guess who this person actually is, chat? Well, here's the big reveal. Like, it's uncanny how many arguments they share with this particular person. Like, it's almost word for word. Imagine them saying that. Girl, why the fuck so much shit is owned by is not real? What the hell is their problem? Warum besitzen diese Juden so viel Eigentum, Chat? Why do they have so much property? Really gets the noggin jogging. Like, whether like this whole Palestine, like anti-Israel movement is like a breeding ground for fucking neo-Nazis. How the fuck do they do this? Do they not realize that they're actually sharing Nazi rhetoric? In case you don't know history for whatever fucking reason, one of the reasons Hitler personally didn't like Jews is that they held a lot of positions of power, a lot of influence, and they owned a lot of property. They were Jewish people, industrious people. They work hard for the things that they had, and Hitler, in his wisdom, he had a real problem with that as well. And these people are mimicking that rhetoric, not even neo-Nazi rhetoric, actual Nazi rhetoric on fucking display right here. Why the fuck do these not real own so much land? What is their fucking problem? Says Hitler Jr. Rin Penrose is there. I have no words. Like, she's one of my favorite VTubers. I thought Idol Corp is so bangers until I see this. Oh yeah, by the way, Idol Corp came from Israel, so watch out for any idol that came from that company. Why Bin Ben Rose? What the fuck? First Zongli's VA, now fucking Idol Corp. Did Zongli's VA... Is he Israeli? Does he support Israel? I don't know what's happening here, but it seems very serious to these people. Holy fuck. I feel brain dead after reading the replies and quote receipts. How is it possible that so many people lack basic knowledge how taxes work or what a strike is? Like, dude, they're based in Israel. How could a company based in Israel not provide financial support to the Israeli government? Those are contradictory statements. Being based in Israel means they pay taxes in Israel. And what do you think government gets money from? By the way, if you apply this logic to every single country around the world, and what some particular governments are funding, if this person is American, consider that America supports Israel as well, and your tax money is going into that support. So better stop paying your fucking taxes in fucking dollaridos in America, Americans, because otherwise you're supporting Israel too. My favorite part was back in October when the CEO tweeted, all playing the victim, like, I'm fine, thanks for all the concern. It's so scary, as if he isn't an Israeli living far away from Gaza, up near Tel Aviv. Or when he tweeted, I thought he was actually living in the attacked area. Idol's registered address. Apparently that's where it is. I don't know. Can't confirm or deny. Interesting. What are you gonna do with that information? I hope you're not gonna do anything sketchy with that information. Mrs. Or Mr. Zoe Nyan. Oh. My Oshi is part of this agency. No. I feel bad for the current generation of children that are brought up like this. I hope one day they look back on their actions on the internet and say, "Damn, I used to be retarded, but now I'm not." But I think that the most likely case and the most likely scenario here is that they're just gonna get worse, and then they're gonna be they're gonna grow up. They will most likely, but I don't know, considering how they behave online, they get some kind of job, and at some point in time they'll be in some position of power, and these are the types of people that are going to be running the world in some years. I know, very very scary to think about. Just a reminder to always do research the companies you want to work with and those that reach out to work with you. Also to viewers, I know dropping on comfort streamer isn't easy, but this is about innocent people being unalived in safe zones Israel set up. Man, after seeing this, I ran to unsubsidized Rin Penrose and Idlecorp VTuber. Oh hell no, I ain't supporting VTubers from Israel. Elon Musk, why do you allow anti-Semitism to run rampant on your platform? I understand the freedom of speech and all of that, but there's limits. I guess. Don't tell me Rin Penrose is a Zionist, please. Rin Penrose's viewership might not change due to possibly most of her fans either being oblivious or raging Zionists themselves. But goddamn, why? Why persona avatar? Why do you behave like this? I like the lies that they keep telling themselves, like first the CEO is a Zionist, now the VTuber fans of Idol might be Zionists. These fucking watermelons, if you see these watermelons online, you'll know you're getting the best opinion possible out of a particular tweet. No stupidity here. And lastly, silently unsubscribes Rin Penrose. Poor Rin. Poor English VTuber. British VTuber that it's wrapped up because people are retarded. And yeah, that's it. You've got a little breeding ground for neo-Nazis. The people that would call you, very likely you a neo-Nazi, for not wanting to be engaged with any of this, just parrot Nazi rhetoric very easily. Rampant anti-Semitism is very easy to accomplish nowadays with people like that being at the forefront of this whole shit. It's amazing. Really, really amazing to see. And really, history is doomed to repeat itself because people do not learn how easily it is to start unpersoning other people just because of their place of origin, their ethnicity or race. And I know this is just Twitter bullshit, but some of these people actually do believe this shit, and it's a dangerous mindset because if they take it to the real world, they will start doing terrible shit. And you've seen how most of these people already act. They're already blaming people by association, saying that if you live there, you support what your government is doing, and you're complicit, so you're equally to blame. This is the way of thinking that they have on there. And how do you think Nazis during World War II and even before it? Because the Jews, they had a very hard time all over the world, not only in Europe. They always draw the short end of the stick a lot of the times when it comes to how they were treated in a lot of countries, even before World War II. They were treated very poorly, and anti-Semitism was rampant all over Europe, for example. And all of these methods, all of these talking points you see here were once used in different contexts to use against Jews. They own too much property. They the bad people out of the same country, out of the same ethnicity, they're complicit in the evil actions of the worst out of them. Those kinds of talking points that we're using, and it's happening again. They're doing it again. History repeats itself. Fucking fantastic to see, right? Insane. These people are insane, and the rope is right there. I imagine a lot of them are young. There's still time for them to change their, way of thinking. But who's gonna teach them otherwise? Who's gonna, knock some sense into them? Because other than that, you can just sit there and laugh at them, or you can just continuously get sadder and sadder as you see this, because at some point this stops being funny and it actually starts being dangerous. Because I've seen things like this happen, and again, documented in history very clearly. There's these stages of genocide listed somewhere, and one of them is that these kinds of mindsets being popularized among people, and just continues to escalate from there on. So who the fuck knows? But on this somber note, that's where we end for today. We had a good time going. I thought this stream would be a little bit shorter, but it is what it is, and we managed to wrap it all up within 4 hours. And I actually managed to talk about everything that I wanted to talk about today, other than what we're gonna be doing next week. I don't know, some kind of celebratory stream, because we're free of people of power holding us in a copyright strike, holding my channel in a copyright strike. So I don't know what to do for the celebration. I need to think about it. Maybe announce it in the community part of my YouTube. I may take suggestions for the celebratory stream, or otherwise I'll just prepare something that we haven't talked about yet. And there's always something to talk about with this nonsense. Like every single day, every single week, something happens within the VTuber sphere of influence that's worthy of talking about. Not all of it is to my interest. That's why I've been putting out less, because I don't want to talk about the same things other people talk about just because I feel some kind of obligation to do so. I'd rather just talk about the things that I'm personally interested in. But yeah, what I want to do is actually I want to do something productive with this channel and with where I'm taking this content. Not a real change of direction, mind you, but I wanted to go to Offkai this year, but I wanted to do like a proper coverage of that. And I was thinking, like, why not involve you guys into that and actually make it some kind of small community projects, sort of speaking. So what I was thinking of doing with that is like take some suggestion of what you guys want to see covered, of what you would want to see covered at like Offkai and shit like that. And if it's like beyond my monetary means, because I have a lot of financial obligations otherwise, I could like do a donathon with the goals in them being like things I could do for you guys. So in terms of putting out like content, like things that you want to see me do, and those would be the goals. So you would also get something out of it, because I am not a fan of just hey guys, donate to me so I can have leisure time abroad, and you're not getting anything out of it. I don't like that sort of transaction because that's not transaction. That's just e-begging at that point. So I need to think something that's mutually beneficial to everybody. But the ultimate goal would be like covering Offkai, and that would be a cool thing. I know covering Offkai would be like in a limited fashion because, you know, VTubers are very private people, and a lot of people at Offkai are gonna be there in person, and of course they wouldn't want to be like photographed or filmed or anything like that. But there is a lot of events, there's a lot of panels at Offkai that would be worth taping or video recording. I'm still thinking like very old-timey things of taping things on a cassette. But yeah, in case something like that was possible, I would really like to cover Offkai in that sort of fashion. Actually flex, you know, my profession, my journalistic profession, and do a proper coverage of it. See what kind of panels there are there, what kind of events are being organized, maybe talk to some industry people there, maybe get some kind of interview going. It all depends of what you guys want to see. So I will be taking suggestions in community notes later on. And if it's possible, and if you guys want to see something like that, then we'll have a donaton. And if you don't want to see that, then that's a no. I'm fine with either of these solutions. But either way, I'm going to Offkai in some fashion, or not. In some fashion, because I really just want to see it personally and how it grows, because it's grew from year 1 to year 2. And year 3 is on the course of being something special as well. So it's also a personal interest of mine. So we'll see where that goes. But again, for right now, thanks for tuning in. And have a good day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in the world. Stay hydrated and stay off fucking Twitter. Because it has watermelons on it, and I'm starting to hate fruit. I'll play you off with something nice, and I'll see you guys later. So bye bye.
with this.